Sprinkles if you got them. Jack's Donuts. Find a location near you. Now.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Craving comfort fresh food made from scratch daily? Check out Aspen Creek Grill. Located across from Hamilton Town Center and beside the Holiday Inn, we offer family farm-raised premium Black Agnes steaks hand-cut daily, creamy pastas, salmon chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Start with our famous powwow shrimp appetizer, and don't miss our refreshing drinks. Family-friendly or a great night out with friends. Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek Grill, Noblesville. Call 317-559-3300.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. He said he loved me. My friends told me it wasn't a big deal. They thought he was so cool. But they didn't know what he wanted me to do.
All I ever wanted was to feel loved. You have no idea the kind of pressure I felt to take things to the next level. Things were moving so fast. I was basically the only person in the freshman class who hadn't done it yet. So, we did.
I loved him.
I thought she loved me.
My health class had CPR at school. I stayed after class to talk with the instructor about it. They showed me that it didn't have to be that way.
They showed me that I get to make my own choices.
There is another way.
That's the best thing CPR gives you. Another way. A better way.
A healthy way. Sometimes you don't see it because you're in your own world, but they don't make you feel bad. They talk to you like a real person, and they save kids from really unhealthy decisions. They tell the truth, and they know what they're talking about. So yeah, my life was different. I started to choose the better way.
I honestly don't know where I'd be or what I'd be doing had it not been for CPR.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
God set me free from anxiety and depression. Before Wheeler, I just existed, but today I live.
Sprinkles if you got them. Jack's Donuts, find a location near you, now.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year. Come on, get your head out of your sacks. Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites. Woo!
I get her! Not solo!
You see if I get it? Yeah!
These guys are fired up. Our crew is fired up. Game one's coming your way next.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to Bishop Chatard High School as we bring you high school baseball right here on IndianaSRN. It is our first game of the season, and a beautiful day for baseball it is. You have Heritage Christian coming in at 1-4, 0-1 in conference play. The Trojans 3-1 overall. They too are 0-1 in conference action. Tonight's game being brought to you in part by IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences. Begin your journey today. Also by the Morales Group, building your future one story at a time. Bertner Electric, first-rate residential and commercial services. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 solution. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, serving customers and the community since 1955. Troy Dargowski along with Sean Crow. We have a beautiful day for high school baseball, and here we go again as we head toward June.
Circle City Conference matchup on the docket for game number 1. It's going to be a good one. Anxious to see Andrew Wiggins take the bump for Heritage Christian, the Indiana University commit. See what he's going to have tonight and deal.
We'll take a timeout. The first pitch coming up in a moment right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you.
Back once again here at Bishop Chatard High School as we see the right-hander Connor O'Brien set to throw tonight for the Trojans. Sean, we were talking briefly before we went to the national anthem here tonight. You have 2 teams, one team coming in at 1-4. They had that road trip to Tennessee, didn't turn out as well as they would hoped it would, that being Heritage Christian, and then of course Bishop Chatard off to a 3-1 start. What do you see in these 2 teams this early in the year?
Well, they know each other pretty well. Both coaches have been around for a while, and these are both Circle City Conference opponents. It's still really early, and you're just now getting into, quote-unquote, your conference schedule, as well as, over spring break, all these teams take trips.
Yeah.
Even the school that I was at, they do that because of the warmer weather. So this is really kind of the beginning of getting a feel for what you've got this season. You're starting to get more comfortable as Coach Ambrose and Coach Harmon with your lineups, who's doing what, who's your number 1 starter, who's your first guy out of the pen, those different kind of things. We saw from the lineup card that Coach Harmon gave us for Chatard. He had, here's my number 1 guy out of the bullpen, and here's my 2 relievers. They kind of have a feel for that now. Now it's just kind of like settling into a groove and seeing what you can do.
By the way, speaking of Heritage Christian, as we mentioned a little bit ago, off to a 1-4 start. Their lone loss in the conference was against Ron Colley. They got shut out 7-0. And we're going to see them go to the plate here in a couple of moments. And they got beat by Shelbyville, Tennessee, 12-6. They lost to Smith County, Tennessee, 12-8. And then Summertown beat them 15-8 before they came back and beat Alexandria Monroe 11-3. So pitching, apparently, either they face some very good teams down there, the pitching isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, it is, and those teams in the South, too, probably had quite a jump start in terms of games played, as opposed to us Northerners up here, in the cold weather.
Ryan Williams, the left fielder, will lead things off from the left side, and the first pitch is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Williams, Andrew Wiggins, and Blake McDonald, first 3 hitters here for the Eagles.
I kind of dig the Chatard's pinstripe, something new for them in terms of their uniforms. I like it.
Swing in, that one's fouled to the screen, 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, you had mentioned the young man who's on deck, Andrew Wiggins, and there is some talk that maybe he may not end up at Indiana, might turn pro. Yeah,
it depends on where he's drafted. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a huge part of it.
Which you'll find out very soon, I'm sure, once that gets underway. Swing and a miss, and Williams now down in the count at 1-2 as good pitch here by Connor O'Brien.
Kind of went a little upstairs with the fastball there. Fish weren't biting. He couldn't catch up to it. We'll see what he comes back with there. Maybe an off-speed pitch, see if he can get him out in front.
By the way, you noticed O'Brien, he works from the stretch. There's a ground ball toward the shortstop. Third baseman will cut him off. Strong throw to the bag, and they'll get him. What a throw from third base by Keating.
I got to ask, how do you feel about sliding head first into first base? Honestly, I do not understand the thought process there.
It's never really been proven that it gets you there any faster, does
Yeah,
it?
I've seen sports science where it's actually slower for you. I don't know. Maybe if he thought the throw was coming that way, I can see it if the throw is coming towards you.
Yeah.
I think it's a wayward throw, but here's the big dog right here, Mr. Wiggins.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins batting second here in the lineup for Heritage Christian, and the pitch is high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, like we were talking about with Wiggins, your draft status and where you slot in terms of your bonus just makes a huge difference on whether or not you decide to go to college or go straight to the minors.
That's a nice pitch in there for a strike. Count is even at 1-1, and of course the bonuses you get are a whole lot bigger than they were when you played.
Yeah, a whole lot bigger. Well, you look at someone like Andrew Dukanich last year from Brebeuf Jesuit. He was a fairly high draft pick, but he decided to go to Vanderbilt, and then he gets hurt in his first start at Vanderbilt. So he's still got some time. They're young, so they're resilient. They got plenty of life left in those arms, hopefully.
Pitch on the way, and that's in there for a called strike. Wiggins watching that one right down the middle. The count is even at 2-2.
Wiggins not only is trying to find a pitch to hit, he's kind of getting a feel for the strike zone that he's going to get when he's on the bump himself.
Yeah. Strong left-handed hitter at the number 2 hole, and watches that one go by, and he'll get caught looking. There's 2 away. Nice pitch there by O'Brien.
That was a surprise. You don't see that from a player the caliber of Andrew Wiggins. Maybe the off speed just caught him off guard, wasn't expecting it, and couldn't pull the trigger.
Blake McDonald, the center fielder, 2 away here in the top of inning number 1.
Got to give a shout out to my dentist's son. It's Blake McDonald. So yeah, free plug, McDonald Dentistry, McCordsville, Indiana.
I was going to say, do you get a little discount on that? Maybe an extra tooth?
We'll find out if they watch it. We'll see.
Maybe you can throw in an extra tooth in there if you need an extra cleaning. That pitch is outside.
No, Brian's working pretty quick so far. He's not really messing around, getting the ball back, getting into his motion, and you'd think the pitch clock was here in high school.
I was going to say, maybe he's preparing. There's a good fastball and a good movement as well. Count is even at 1-1. We are, by the way, directly behind home plate, so we'll have a pretty look at this one.
We will. I'm surprised the Heritage is taking so many pitches so far. O'Brien's not really trying to nibble. He's going straight at the strike zone.
This is hard hit toward the second baseman. Palakin on to first, and a 1-2-3, top of inning number 1 after a half inning of play. Heritage Christian nothing. Bishop Chatard coming to bat.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
High school baseball brought to you tonight by Aspen Creek Grill. Aspen Creek offers a warm and inviting atmosphere, family-friendly dining, and a great destination for a night out with family and friends. We invite you to make yourself at home at Aspen Creek Grill, located not only in Noblesville, but in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, there he is. You see Andrew Wiggins, the young man, is slated to be a pitcher at Indiana, though I tried to convince his mom and dad last year maybe Michigan would be a better spot for him. It didn't work, apparently.
Nice try.
Yeah. But again, a young man has all the talent in the world, and every indication is right now he's the best player in Indiana. Most people believe he's because of his all-around play, but bottom line is he's one of the best players in the nation.
He is. He's very highly ranked nationwide as a pitcher, and committed his sophomore year to Indiana.
Yeah.
So he's been on their radar for quite a while. So let's see what he's got in store tonight for the home-standing Trojans.
Well, I at least didn't get a chance to see him last year pitch.
Right.
So this is my first time to see him, and he'll face Ryan Keating to lead things off. Third baseman with a heck of an arm. Saw that in a defensive play made on Ryan Williams there in the top of the first inning. And the fastball, one hopper to the second baseman. Jackson, one pitch, one out. Good start for Wiggins.
They weren't waiting around. They got that fastball. They were hacking. That's what you got to like if you're Heritage Christian. Save some of those bullets. You can go a complete game if you're Wiggins. We'll see what they do now.
Well, here's Chris Klug. I was going to ask you then, how long do you wait? Some pitchers really do an excellent job. When the game gets along, they get stronger and stronger. But then isn't there a fine line? Do I swing early? Do I wait a little bit?
I think it depends on the pitches you like to hit.
What'd you duck for?
Well, I was ducking for the camera. It was the scoreboard camera that I was ducking for.
Klug quickly behind it 0-2, and you can tell there's a really good movement on Wiggins' fastball, and that one just rode right in on his hands that time.
Well, I think one of the things, too, the Wiggins, he's going to pound the strike zone, right? And he's going to throw a lot of fastballs. Why? Because if he goes breaking ball, you're actually helping the hitter out. You're give him a chance to square up the baseball.
Another fastball. This one is off the handle. The second baseman coming over slides and makes the catch. So Jackson involved in both plays so far, and that'll bring up J.P. Palakin.
2 outs, no runners.
The old adage is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep firing those pills into the catcher there, McVeigh, and ride it as long as you can.
I would venture to say, and again, I don't know if we've seen his best fastball so far, but we're talking in the 90 range area, I would guess.
He's got some heat on that for sure.
And it's a little high.
I mean, he's so fluid too. I don't think he's really taxing it. Once he gets to, if he goes to the minor leagues or to college, his nutrition, weights, all those things are going to improve, which will only help.
Yeah.
In terms of focused mechanics and direct coaching. Nothing against Coach Ambrose. He's a fantastic coach. He's also a teacher. Those kind of things where. Those guys, this is all they do is coach, so they can devote all the time in the world to him.
Pitches up high, 2 balls and a strike. One thing you said a little bit ago, I think that when you watch Wiggins throw, it does look really effortless.
Yeah, very smooth delivery.
Well, he's behind in the count of 2 balls and a strike. That one in the turf. So now 3-1.
This is a pitch if you're Palakin where you're sitting dead red. You're looking to turn and burn here because Wiggins does not want to walk you. Once he gets out of the inning, he's going to bring the heat. You just got to be ready to pull the trigger.
So here's the 3-1 pitch on the way, and boy, it's a good fastball, and Palakin way behind it. Now 3-2.
That's a pretty good fastball when the batter's he's sitting fastball and still can't catch it.
Now you'll dig in as Palakin. The next pitch, high and outside. That'll be a 2-out walk, and Palakin on base, and that'll bring up Danny Sitzman. So our first base runner of the ball game. By the way, Bishop Chatard this year, they lose to Garin 13-3. That was the loss in the conference. They beat Cecina 10-0. They beat Hauser 10-6. And then they beat Traders Point Christian 12-2. We get an opportunity tonight. We'll run down the latest baseball polls that have come out. Wiggins' pitch is in the dirt. Snap throw to first, not in time.
Also, nice to know, too, the second game of the back-to-backs with Garin got rained out. So they're down a game as well. Not sure if they're going to replay that or not. You would think they will since it's a conference game, but
probably wait and see how everything pans out here. As that pitch in the dirt, runner was ready to take off, but Palakin wisely back to the bag as McVeigh quickly got to the baseball.
It hurt that the rain wasn't a day where it was here at Chatard, because with the all-turf field, and it takes on a ton of water, and you can still play, which is really nice.
2 balls and no strikes now. Sitzman is the cleanup hitter here for Bishop Chatard. The pitch low and inside, and after Wiggins got the first 2 hitters, struggling now a little bit with the control.
Maybe overthrowing it a little bit.
See if Palakin at 3-0. I doubt you're going to see anybody swinging right here. Palakin staying put, and that pitch low and outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks, and that'll bring up Aiden Duncan.
Not what you want to see if you're Coach Ambrose, but again, just get an easy ground ball, get out of the inning, and get in the dugout.
We don't know how many innings so far that Wiggins has thrown this year. We didn't have any statistics coming into tonight's game. But it would be interesting to know, as that's a swing and a miss. Big cut there by Duncan.
Man, if you're going to offer at that pitch on the paint, and the opposite, just pack it up. I mean, there's no chance you have against that pitch with him. You got to make him get it over the plate.
Here's the 0-1 on the way. It's low once again. Good job there by McVeigh, and he's going to throw to second, not in time to get the runner Palakin. So the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Our vantage point camera-wise is, again, behind home plate. And I was thinking maybe we could put our camera guy out in the field to play, but I guess he won't let us do that as that pitch is high, 2-1. You think he'd mind getting a couple of foul balls hit his way?
No.
Take one for the team or two?
He probably would feel the same that Duncan did with that high and tight fastball right there.
You're the whiz on that one, huh?
I'd have been whizzing down my leg.
This one's popped up down the left side, and that will go out of play. Third baseman Ambrose gave it a long look, and will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Boy, the feeling you get when that fastball rides high and tight.
Yeah.
Whew.
You know, when we go to Victory, I'm sure we'll do it again this year and do the hitting. Maybe we can get Wiggins to show up and throw some BP. Huh?
Hard pass. Unless it's underhanded, then I'd be okay.
Wouldn't you like to know what it's like just to stand in there with a really fast fastball? There's another one fouled away.
I can handle standing behind the netting, the batting cage, and watching it come in. I'd be okay with that.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to stand there.
You just in case he hits you.
Yeah. I'd break it about 80 pieces if that happened.
Wiggins will look the runner back at second as Bishop Chatard trying to get on the board here in the bottom half of inning number 1. The pitch on the way. This one's going to be line base hit into left field. Palakin will score. Heading to third will be Sitzman, and into second is Duncan with an RBI double.
Wow, got out in front of that pitch and drove it into left field. Coach Harmon stopping Sitzman at third. Probably a good play because you got the left-hander coming up now in Dietrich.
Yeah, Dietrich now the 6th hitter against Wiggins here as Bishop Chatard gets on the board first. And the pitch in there for a called strike.
You couldn't ask for a better start for Coach Harmon, making him throw some pitches, working his pitch count, Getting a nice 2-out knock there to get a run home. Boy, you'd love to have another one here.
Wiggins now with runners at second and third. Good fastball, swing and a miss. So now Dietrich will have to protect here at 0-2.
Yeah, you don't see enough guys choke up on the bat with 2 strikes. There are some major leaguers that do it. It's a great tactic. Oh,
breaking pitch a little bit high though.
That was a nice breaking ball. Had him fooled.
So now Dietrich back in with a count at 1-2 strikes. Fastball blows it by him. Dietrich strikes out, but not until Bishop Chatard gets a run on the board. After 1, Trojans lead it 1-0.
Our score is Bishop Chatard.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Back here once again at Bishop Chatard. We mentioned a couple of moments ago that the latest polls are out. In fact, I think this is the week 1 poll. They had the preseason poll, and now they've got week 1.
They've got some guys going to Louisville, some really good players. Colin Brown's one. Very, very strong. But, bigger schools, Penn, they got numbers. They're going to get some good players.
They certainly are, as Tyler Allemeyer steps to the plate. Allemeyer, the shortstop, hitting in the number 4 hole as he'll take the first pitch. A little bit high, 1 ball, no strikes. Of course, O'Brien, a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout in the top of the first inning. The pitch is low, 2-0.
Young lineup for Heritage. They got 4 seniors, but got a freshman and a sophomore and a couple of juniors. 3 juniors in the lineup, a freshman and sophomore. So they're going to return a lot of guys next year.
2 balls and no strikes. That pitch right down the middle for a strike, and the count will go to 2-1.
Allmeyer being one of those, as he's a junior.
Yeah. Of course, we know him from basketball as well.
Yes, Wiggins as well.
Yeah. High chopper to the third baseman. Back up, and the throw to first, a low throw, and he kept his foot on the bag. Great play there by Ambrose and Brzezinski.
I think he was looking to see if they pulled his foot off the bag, but he did not. Very emphatic call by the umpire. You like to see that.
Here is Tucker McVeigh. McVeigh, the catcher, the number 5 hitter now for Heritage Christian. I'll take that back. That was actually Keating to Sitzman on the last play, and that pitch is in there for a strike.
You gotta get your.
I know, I've got them turned
boards,
around here.
Yeah.
When they're all blue, you kind of, it's like being colorblind. You can't tell who's who. O'Brien's next pitch, a little bit low.
Did your black marker run out?
Both of them did.
Oh man!
So I told my wife, get me some new ones.
What are you gonna do now?
I'm screwed if we have to write any more. The 1-1 pitch on the way, chopped foul.
Good off-speed pitch there from O'Brien.
Boy, for Bishop Chatard, you have Keating, Dietrich, Palakin, Sitzman from third to first with Hostetler behind the plate. Klug, Duncan, and Underwood in the outfield from left to right. Fastball a little bit high, 2-2.
I'm just amazed. I don't know about you, how close these high schoolers stand to the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, they absolutely crowd the plate.
Yeah, he's right up there, isn't he?
Yes.
McVeigh back in, and a swing and a miss. Second strikeout now for Connor O'Brien.
Went upstairs, McVeigh couldn't catch up to it.
Here is Will Ambrose.
Will Ambrose.
Ambrose first look here at Connor O'Brien, who so far has not given up a base runner the first 5 hitters. So very early in this one, 7-inning ball games in high schools. That pitch low and outside.
If you can kind of see in the left-hand corner of the picture the raised fence in left field because it butts up their landlocked here at Bishop Chatard, so couldn't quite get the distance they want in left field, so they have the higher fence. Kind of like reverse Pittsburgh.
That one is hit well, but foul down the right field line.
Oh, that was a bomb.
Yeah, he nearly got that one out of here, though. It would have been foul, but we don't know the dimensions here, but I would venture to say you have to be at least 300, imagine, down the lines.
Yeah.
But again, you're talking about that fence, you're probably, 20 feet?
Oh, easy, yeah. Well, fun fact about Pittsburgh, the left field fence is 21 feet tall, and right field, 21.
For
Roberto Clemente, yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and a lot of our younger viewers may know who Roberto Clemente is. Going back in the 60s, 70 was his last year, correct? Before he passed
71.
away. 71. Pitch is high, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I believe it was the 70. It was the 70 or 71 World Series against Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And go watch that. He could play.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Ambrose, 2 balls and 2 strikes as O'Brien with the pitch misses high and outside, 3-2. By the way, later in the spring, we'll have the IHSAA baseball playoffs and softball as well this year, which is in addition to our postseason coverage. Rip foul.
And the baseball's in Kokomo. Is the women's is it in Earlham or where is that?
I'm not sure. I've not heard where that would be.
I was focused on the baseball since that's where I'll be, but Kokomo last year was a fantastic venue. It was a lot of fun. I'm getting a hat this year.
You should. You got to know who to schmooze.
I know.
3 balls and 2 strikks. Pitch on the way, popped him up.
Oh, watch out for the car. Oh, no. And
it
missed. Woo. Everybody breathed a sigh of relief parking on that side.
You saw me start to park there, and then I turned and parked back there, so there's a tree there.
I park way down there. If they hit my car, they have duck hooked a bomb.
They've earned it, huh?
Yeah, kudos to them if they get my car.
So now O'Brien with the pitch on the way, hit foul. How about Ambrose hanging in there?
That one at least stayed in the park. You gotta start taking out of his allowance. Coach Ambrose is if he keeps losing baseballs.
We're speaking of the IHSAA. When they play at Earlham to the left side, they have a big pond over there. And they lose a lot of baseballs in that pond. Here is the payoff pitch now by O'Brien, and he lost him. First base runner now for the Eagles.
Great at bat by Ambrose. Fought off some close pitches, worked the walk, and now you're looking for a 2-out knock from Brzezinski.
Yeah, Brzezinski, the number 7 hitter in the lineup. First walk again given up here by Connor O'Brien.
You got to wonder if father-son signals may have him try and steal in a bag here.
Pitch is a little bit low and inside, 1-0.
You want to make sure and check O'Brien's stretch. This is the first time he's been in the stretch. So you're going to see how quick he is to the plate with his slide step. Get a feel for it. Maybe he might try and steal a base, get in scoring position.
Ambrose, good lead down at first, and it caught the attention there of O'Brien, who throws over.
Our base umpire reminds me of Eric Gregg.
He does, doesn't he? Stretch once again by O'Brien, and the pitch is a fastball up high once again, and much like what we saw earlier with Andrew Wiggins, now Connor O'Brien not quite as sharp as he was in that first inning, plus the first 2 hitters. Hayden Brzezinski, the Left-handed hitting first baseman, another guy who's really crowding the plate. There's a strike.
Nice breaking ball there by O'Brien. And yeah, it's.
Maybe we should make the box a little smaller.
I'm telling you.
They don't need the whole thing, do they? Your 2-1 pitch is low and inside. 3 balls and a strike.
You got to wonder if Coach Ambrose is going to give him the green light here, if he's going to let him take to see if he can get another guy on base for Alex Jackson. Again, very similar to what Chatard did in the top of the inning, or bottom of the first.
Very true. O'Brien with the sign and the pitch. He took something off that one, got it down the middle of the plate for a strike. We'll go to 3-2.
Yeah, I don't think Brzezinski was expecting an off-speed pitch there. Now you got to protect. 2 strikes.
Keep an eye on Ambrose down at first. Again, 2 away. Breaking ball. Fly ball into center field. Shallow center coming on and making the catch is Duncan for out number 3. Heritage got a man on, but they cannot get him across. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Trojans.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Piper Logistics. 3 services, 1 solution. From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, they do it all. At locations in Indianapolis, Cincinnati, as well as Atlanta. We ran down the 4A poll a couple of moments ago. In 3A, Andrean is number 1, followed by Western, Jasper, Silver Creek, then John Glenn, Crawfordsville, Evansville, Memorial, Fairfield, Batesville, and South Bend, St. Joseph. So you kind of get an idea that most of those teams that you look on there kind of spread out around, where 4A had more of the teams right here in the Indianapolis area.
Well, a couple of storied programs there in 3A with Andrean and Jasper.
Yep.
Great coaching in both squads, and they're always going to be up near the top of the polls because they just have great youth programs that funnel all the way up top through high school. I mean, Jasper now has a Hall of Fame, baseball Hall of Famer, and Scott Rowland.
Yeah, that's right. I think we just got an inside memo there from Ben. Joe Ashley will lead things off, and Wiggins' first pitch is a ball. It's Ashley, Underwood, and Hostetler here in the bottom of the second inning.
Thought you were going with a country music concert there with Ashley Underwood or whatever.
Pitch is up high, 2-0. Of course, I believe we'll be at Victory Field again this year for the state championships.
I believe so, yeah.
Pitch on the way, and that one, look out, sails over the head of Ashley, and all of a sudden it's 3-0.
That'll wake you up.
Well, might have a tendency not to crowd the plate too much there, huh?
Yeah, I'd be backing off the plate just a tad.
Run scored in the bottom of the first inning. That was way outside, and, you look at Wiggins in the first 2 hitters, he made it look really easy, but since then, 3 walks and the double given up.
Yeah, it's almost like he's using he's I don't know how the best way to describe this is he's all arm.
Yeah.
Like he's not using his entire motion to come down through the pitch if you watch when he lets go of it.
Jack Underwood, the right fielder, a senior left-handed hitter, steps in for the first time against Wiggins, and there's another miss. Well, this has got to give Bishop Chatard a lot of confidence right here. Get the ace to struggling. You got to run off him in the first inning. The pitch on the way, and that's going to catch the outside corner for strike 1.
Heritage has their third baseman playing on the cut of the turf. They're in the indentation, third base line. So any ball shot that way may get, it's going to be a tough play.
Wiggins again with the pitch, and same location, same call.
Interesting, though, the outfield shifted for him to pull. You would think with the good fastball of Wiggins, they'd play him more to shade towards the opposite way.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They have shifted over as the throw to first not in time. You have The center fielder, McDonald, playing on the right side of second base. There's a lot of room down the line as Williams almost over in center field as far as he is shifted over. That pitch gets away from the catcher, McVeigh, and the runner will advance. So a wild pitch. Now the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Wild pitch sends Ashley to second. Now you got a runner in scoring position here.
Yeah, 2 straight innings. They left runners at second and third when they saw Wiggins able to get Dietrich to strike out to end that first inning. So now you're looking at a 2-2 count, and the pitch swung on, hit toward the shortstop. Throw to first, a high throw, and the runner is safe, and the runner from second, Ashley, advances to third, and still no outs here in the second.
Oh, man, E6, that hurts. You needed that out.
Allmeyer had plenty of time, though.
He did. Now, if you're Hostetler, you're feeling good because a ground ball of any kind really gets you a run.
Yeah. So now Wiggins trying to get out of another jam here in the bottom of inning number 2, and the pitch is a little bit high, but they call it a strike. Hostetler just a sophomore. Chance to get a run in here in the second inning off Andrew Wiggins. Throw to first and not in time. Wiggins has a pretty good move to first base. So you're going to be very careful if you're Underwood. You want to get an out here in the bottom of the second inning. Good fastball swing and a miss.
His teachers would like to say he was a little tardy on that fastball. You need a strikeout here if you're Wiggins.
Yeah, and if you're Hostetler outside of maybe a base hit, ground ball to the right side, you'll still get the run across.
Trying to keep Underwood close at first to keep that double play intact as well.
Wiggins long look at his catcher and misses outside. Of course, you got to remember, too, you're at a pitch count in high school baseball, so they want to make Wiggins throw as many pitches as they possibly can early. Runner takes off. The pitch is outside. The throw down to second was cut off, but it wasn't a good throw by McVeigh anyway.
Ooh, that's one you got to pay attention if you're at third. Once that skipped by, you got to be heading home.
Yeah. So now we have our first stolen base. Underwood got a great jump, and now Hostetler a chance with 2 runners in scoring position against Andrew Wiggins. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. And he faked the throw down to third. There's one away, and boy, you'd mentioned a little bit ago, he needed that strikeout.
He does. He needs another one, too, but Keating, first pitch swinging. Start of the bottom of the first. Let's see what he does here.
But it does help now that you've had a chance to see Wiggins already. Time is called. Wiggins goes ahead and throws the pitch, and which is the thing you want to do, not hold up and maybe chance an injury by stopping your follow-through. Ashley down at third, Underwood down at second base. Trojans trying to get ahead here in the inning. That's going to be a base hit, extra bases. Ashley and Underwood both will score, and Ryan Keating with a stand-up double drives in 2, and the Trojans lead this one 3-0.
First pitch swinging again. Got one, took it into the gap in right center field. Gets 2 ribs on that one.
Well, Keating figures might be the best pitch I'm going to see. Go and swing at it, right?
Yeah, right there. I think he liked the fact that it was up out over the plate, which allowed him to go into right field.
Chris Klug, who flew out in the first inning. So in a successful inning here for the Trojans once again. This one's popped up right side. Reed is there, and he'll make the catch. The runner will retreat back to second, so Keating will stay in scoring position, and 2 away now for J.P. Palakin. Well, we saw Keating swinging at that first pitch. You saw Klug do the same thing.
I think Coach Harmon's like, if you get a pitch you like, don't wait on it. Take a rip at it. Now, Palakin walked and scored in the first, so he took a few pitches.
Yes. A lot of left-handed hitters in this lineup here for the Trojans, and the first pitch is a strike. And that is the key. Load them up with left-handers against a right-handed pitcher, and so far it has worked. Keating with that big double time called here by Palakin.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a blast from the past here. Palakin, the way he gets in the box and crouches down, reminds me of a guy named Brad Fulmer. Do you remember Brad Fulmer? He played for the Expos, and
that is going back a ways.
It is. Well, I'm old, so.
Pitches outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Who's a lefty?
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think Montreal should have a baseball team again.
Oh, boy, I love the Expos and those uniforms.
Oh, yeah. Wiggins trying to get out of a huge jam here, misses high, 2-1.
Good thought with the off-speed pitch there, just a little off on the release point.
Well, if you're Bishop Chatard, you couldn't have asked for a better start to this one against Wiggins. Ground ball, third base side, backhanded there by Ambrose. Long throw, the good stretch by Brzezinski to get the out at first, but 2 more runs across here in the bottom of the second for the Trojans. They lead this one 3-0.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At one point in my life, alcohol ruled supreme. It was not impossible for me to wake up just as drunk as before I went to sleep, and I use the term go to sleep loosely. I think on most nights it wasn't falling asleep, it was just passing out. There was no way I was getting out of it with my own willpower, so I decided to give Wheeler a try. And since my graduation from Wheeler's program, alcohol has not had any kind of hold on me whatsoever.
Back once again here at Bishop Chatard High School. Trojans leading this one 3-0. I want to go back to our polls. We had mentioned the 4A and 3A this week. In 2A, Ileana Christian, the defending champions in 2A, yes. I believe, right?
Yeah.
They're number 1, followed by Wapahani, Carroll Flora, University, and Seeger, with Forest Park, South Central of Union Mills, Delphi, Eastside, and Heritage Christian tied at number 9. So, Heritage Christian in a hole. This will be Jackson, Reed, and back to the top of the order, and Williams.
That's one of the things about the Circle City Conference, Troy, is there's these teams kind of really extremely equal, but amongst literally all 4 classes, 2A, 3A, 4A, in all the schools. So you get a chance to really step up in competition. So when it comes tournament time, a 2A team like Heritage, they're ready to go.
Yeah, certainly are. Well, O'Brien gave up just a walk. That one hit up the middle. That'll be the first base hit for the Eagles as Alex Jackson singles. Kind of took a page from the playbook of what Bishop Chatard was doing and swinging at that first pitch.
Number 2, David Reed.
So here's David Reed, the right fielder.
Heritage needed that in the worst way. Get a base knock, get a runner on.
They got that walk in the second inning, and then that fizzled out, so their second base runner against O'Brien, and Reed, another left-handed hitter, steps in. Of course, Jackson's not going to do much down there at first base. You're down 3-0, and a big cut and a miss by Reed.
Well, a couple of things here with Reed. Number 1 is you're making O'Brien pitch from the stretch. You want to see him pitch more from the stretch, too. You want to at least try and get that runner to second as you flip the lineup back over to your leadoff hitter.
Short lead again by Jackson. They'll show bunt. Laid down in front of O'Brien. He'll throw to first, and the sacrifice works. It's Jackson now at second base.
Which is why that happened.
With 1 out, the runner advances
And now you go to the top of the order. Here's Ryan Williams.
I like the play by Coach Ambrose, not showing the bunt on pitch 1.
Yeah.
And then going with it on the second. It's a great bunt, too. You'd love to get one back right here.
So now Jackson the lead at second base. O'Brien will take a long look. Shortstop trying to get behind him. Dietrich at short. He and Palakin will try to bluff Jackson as much as they can to keep him close at second base. You know, sometimes as a pitcher you can get yourself a little too involved with the runner at second, and there's a ball that gets away from the catcher, Hostetler. And Jackson all of a sudden down at third base.
Now that you got a ton of possibilities here to get that run home. Another wild pitch could help you out. The ground ball at this point, even getting an out will get you a run home. You want to get one of those back since you gave up 2 in the bottom of the last inning. And give Wiggins some confidence knowing, hey, we're still in this game. We can push some across.
Yeah, and speaking of Wiggins, he can help his cause. He is on deck. That pitch a called strike.
Great off-speed pitch there from O'Brien.
Williams again grounded out his first time up in the first inning. O'Brien a check of the runner at third. Here's the pitch. It's outside, 2-1.
Looking to get a good count here. Boy, this seems like the left side or the right fielder and center fielder are playing really shallow for Williams.
Pitch on the way, hit well. This one toward the fence, and it's out of here. How about Ryan Williams, a 2-run shot, and it's all of a sudden 3-2.
That'll play. You gotta love that if you're Coach Ambrose and Heritage.
Well, the first base coach just kind of turned around and waved him around first base. He knew that was hit well.
Yeah, it sounded really good coming off the bat. I thought maybe might catch the fence, but had just enough to get over. And now, like you said, Wiggins can help himself again and get it all back square.
Wiggins struck out looking in the first inning, so let's see how O'Brien responds. And the first pitch is a ball. Boy, you know, it's a weird game sometimes. You can be sailing along, and the next thing you know, it's 3-2.
Yeah.
This one hit hard into center field, and making the play is Duncan in center. He had to reach up and grab that one almost like he went behind to make the catch.
That was a rocket off the bat of Wiggins, and man, what a play by Duncan.
Woo.
Up, back over his head.
Almost overran that one.
That's where you're like, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you very much.
Here's Blake McDonald. He's 0 for 1 tonight, grounded out back in the first inning. O'Brien's pitch in there for a strike. Now the big blast, Ryan Williams, the 2-run shot. Looked like all the momentum in the favor of the Trojans, and now the Eagles right back in this thing, and that pitch is up high.
You know, leadoff hit, get you started.
Yeah.
And you sacrifice bunt, make things happen, make him make some pitches, and sure enough, Williams got a hold of one, and it's a brand new ball game.
That one hit to right field as well, not as deep as Underwood is there to make the catch, and that'll do it for the top of inning number 3. But the big blast by Ryan Williams makes it a 3-2 ball game.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Back once again here at Bishop Chatard after that big home run. Let's go ahead and talk about the 1A poll real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about Andrew Wiggins and how that might help him the rest of the way. Lafayette Central Catholic is number 1 in single A, followed by Tecumseh, Borden, Bar Reeve, and Indianapolis Lutheran. Boy, what a year they're having, huh?
Yeah.
We're talking about in all their sports, that's for sure. Rising Sun, North Davies, followed by South Central, Lagodi, and North Miami. So that is the Week 1 poll of all 4 classes in high school baseball. All right, so you get the home run now. If you're Andrew Wiggins, you kind of felt like things weren't going very well. How do you settle back in now and feel that, hey, you're right back in this thing?
Well, a couple things. One, if you're Wiggins and you're Heritage Christian, you want to get right back on the dish. So you want to go 1, 2, 3 here as quick as you can. Second, take note of the shadows working their way over the home plate area. With the fastball that Wiggins has, when it goes, as the shadows grow, when the ball goes from light to shadow, it's tougher to pick up.
Yeah.
So that may help Wiggins here in these later innings.
Danny Sitzman at the plate here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Got just a piece of that one. Oh.
I had it. I was right there.
No, but I noticed when he was coming in, he kind of went back a little bit.
Well, because I thought it was, I was going to the side because I thought it might. It was high enough to get over the net.
Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Boy, how about that breaking pitch?
Oh, and then knee buckler right there.
Nasty. You know, Wiggins has not really been ahead in the count. Most of the hitters in this ball game to this point. That pitch just inside. We do not keep a pitch count, but he's thrown a few already.
He has. I feel like he's thrown the ball better, though, out of the windup in the stretch. Once runners got down on base, the stretch kind of struggled a little bit.
There was another breaking ball late on the swing, hit foul there by Sitzman.
Nice job waiting on it, though, and take it the other way.
So the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Time called as they are waiting for the young man to go down and get that loose baseball down there in foul territory.
Oh, by the way, I didn't mean to forget to ask you how you feel about your Cardinals being in last place.
They suck. See me in August. You know,
yeah. Brewers are scoring some runs. That kind of surprises me.
Man. Here's the pitch on the way. That one skips up there 3-2. The one thing that I think is hurting the Cardinals right now, and I'll blame it on something. It's got to be that pitch clock and stuff. You know, they're used to getting in there and getting, you know.
It's not hurting Tampa Bay much.
Apparently not.
That one's coming. That's got to play on that one.
This is going to be close. Catcher in foul territory, can't make it. Nice play, almost by Hostetler.
Well, that wind at our back, that's tough. Again, going from shadow to light and a little curve on the ball. That's a tough play to make.
You know, the catcher's first off got to get rid of. First, he's got to locate it.
Yes.
And then try to get rid of the mask and helmet so you don't trip over it and look stupid doing that. And then that thing's way up there like that.
One of my favorite plays ever with the mask. It was the Crosstown Classic. Cubs were playing the White Sox, and somebody home plate umpire rung up the White Sox play. No. Hang on, we'll get this pitch here.
Yeah, payout pitch is missed right there. Leadoff walk now to Sitzman.
Alexi Ramirez hit it, and the ball hit behind home plate, and Giovanni Soto grabbed it when he thought it went into fair territory and just tagged him and called him out. So obviously Soto throws his mask off. Ozzie Guillen comes bolting out and just kicks the mask all the way back to the White Sox dugout, and Soto just starts busting up laughing. It was a perfect kick.
There's a breaking pitch in there to Aiden Duncan. Duncan, big double back in the first inning that ended up driving in a run. Every inning now that the Trojans have had a base runner against Andrew Wiggins. That one foul tipped and held on.
Nice pick there by McVeigh. My goodness.
0-2 now to Duncan. Sitzman a short lead down at first. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and he just blows it by Aiden Duncan.
Boy, as comfortable as Duncan looked in his first AB, he looked as uncomfortable in this at-bat.
Yeah.
I think that curveball, really had him bailing on that first pitch, and after that, he just never felt. That's a huge thing as a hitter against a pitcher like Wiggins, is you got to be able to feel comfortable in the box.
Yeah. and you'll feel a lot more comfortable if you can get ahead in the count. Not have to guess at what might be coming. That pitch was low, and Dietrich takes a cut. Strikeout victim in the first inning.
Yeah, you're very comfortable if you can get a 3-1 count. No, I'm getting a fastball right down the middle. Let's see what I can do with it.
In a short lead down at first by Sitzman. Here's the pitch by Wiggins, and there's another nice breaking ball.
That is going to make you uncomfortable.
Yes, it is. So now Dietrich behind at 0-2, and you can tell the difference. Wiggins right now pitching at least even or ahead in the count of the three hitters he has faced so far, and he threw him another breaking ball. One hopper to the shortstop. They'll get the runner at second. So 2 away, and that'll bring up now Joe Ashley.
With 2 outs and the runner at first base.
Fielder's choice there for Dietrich.
Is our designated hitter,
Well, that's the thing. That's the beauty of pitching, is keeping hitters off balance. When you got that dialed up fastball and then you see that breaking ball come in, brain lock.
Yeah.
You just can't process it in time to be able to pull the trigger unless you're really, really good.
That's why those early 3 runs could be just huge tonight for Bishop Chatard.
Well, they still got a few innings to make sure Heritage doesn't score anymore either.
Yeah.
They've got some pretty good swings on O'Brien last inning.
Ashley walked his last time up. This has popped up left side, and this will go out of play.
Didn't hear any metal, so we're going to say that did not hit a car.
You know, with the way that betting is in sports, do you think maybe one of these times we got to come in and take some odds on whose car's going to get hit?
Yeah. Everybody park in a prime spot and be like, all right, let's who's going to get hit?
We can make it like a 50-50. They get half, we get half.
Deductible. I'll take care of that.
Exactly. Wiggins a long time getting the pitch off in this one, and he misses inside.
Ooh, he's had that corner of the plate all night. Must have just missed it.
You know, we talk about the hitter in the shadows. The umpire has to pick up on that a little bit, too.
He does.
Here's the stretch and the 1-1 pitch. That's low.
He doesn't have to process low then to try and swing to get to. He can just like, oh, here's where it's
that
at.
Looks good. Ashley walked and scored one of the 2 runs for the Trojans in that second inning. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch on the way, that was out of the strike zone and swung on there by Ashley, and kind of knew right there that should have held off on that one. That's easier said than done. Your eyes get really big when you see that thing coming in like that, eye level.
Well, as a hitter, when it comes to certain counts and against certain pitchers, you're looking for a certain pitch.
Yeah.
And if that pitch is anywhere into the zone, you're pulling the trigger.
Break-even pitch on the way is a fastball outside. So once again, Ashley forcing 3 balls against the right-hander Andrew Wiggins.
You see a lot of MLB players like, why did they swing at that pitch? Because they were in swing mode because this was a pitch they were expecting. And then once you get that front side going, it's hard to stop.
Runner takes off. That's chopped foul. Ashley, the number 7 hitter, now battling against Wiggins here in the bottom half of inning number 3.
Umpire needs more baseballs. We've had so many hit out of play.
Well, we got to have one, at least one, hit somebody's car. Not mine.
No, I don't want to wish that on anybody.
We were all sitting here waiting for the, the
Can you imagine if somebody took one over the left field fence and got the school van on the other side?
Sign him now.
Yeah.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Wiggins, long set, runner takes off, swing and a miss. Nice job there by Andrew Wiggins. 2 strikeouts in the inning. And the Trojans leave a man on after 3. 3-2 your score.
Innings of play, our score still stands.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back here again at Bishop Chatard. Want to remind you tonight's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors throughout Indiana since 1955. There you see the scores. We head to the top half of inning number 4. It'll be Allmeyer, McVeigh, and Ambrose.
Some interesting high school news coming down the wire right now. Pike has hired a new head coach, former Pike graduate NBA All-Star Jeff Teague. Their next head coach.
There you go. I kind of heard through the rumor mill that was something in the works.
Also, Keith made sure to let us know we have radio only for both days of the state finals.
Oh, okay.
IHSAA state finals.
Yes. I'll pitch in there for a strike. Allmeyer 0 for 1 tonight. That is, whether you're doing radio or video, it's a fun venue.
Oh, yeah.
To be a part of.
The atmosphere and everything is fantastic.
That pitch is low ball 1. We'll run the count even at 1-1. Allmeyer grounded out to third baseman in the second inning. Wind has picked up. You mentioned that a little bit during the break, that the breeze has picked up from behind us a few miles per hour.
We need to lobby the IHSAA to let you and I do one of those games.
We should.
If it's 1A, you know what?
Yeah. Well,
we got it.
You know people.
No, I don't. Not well enough, I don't.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Chopper to the shortstop.
Uh-oh.
Low throw and dug out. Great play. Tell you what, Sitzman able to snag that one. He kind of looked like he wasn't sure he had it at first, but Dietrich's low throw.
He played that beautifully, and Dietrich just kind of short-armed it, took his time, and took way too much off it, but a great play by Sitzman there at first.
Here is Tucker McVeigh, a strikeout victim in the second inning. Well, you know that if you have a really good glove down at first base, you'd probably go over there and thank him when you come back to the dugout. That breaking pitch slowing outside.
Oh, you talk to so many guys that play with Gold Glove first baseman. I mean, Sean Dunston talks about all the time how many errors Mark Grace saved him over at first base. I mean, Cardinals got a great one in Goldschmidt. He's a Gold Glover. That's huge.
It is. 2-0 now to McVeigh.
Of course, I would not have wanted to have been on the opposite side of a Sean Dunston 100-mile-an-hour rocket coming from shortstop.
No kidding. The 2-0 pitch missed badly. 3-0.
Can I have extra padding, Coach?
Yeah, please.
Put it in my glove. Well, I'm sure that's probably what McVeigh's like. Hey, can I get some more padding if Wiggins is pitching?
Should be taking all the way as McVeigh takes it right down the middle for a strike.
You take again here?
Tell you what, if he gives me, well, now wait a minute. McVeigh, or take that back. Hostetler is getting a different. He must have heard you. Huh? Give me the one with the extra.
Maybe O'Brien was bringing the heat. And Hostetler's like, I need.
Well, nonetheless, a new catcher's mitt now for Hostetler. 3 balls and a strike, and the pitch missed outside. Maybe he thought that was the lucky catcher's mitt that would get a strike.
Could be. You know what's interesting is the roster we got from Chatard says Hostetler throws left-handed. It doesn't look like he throws left-handed to me. He looks like he's got,
Yeah, that's got to be a typo. We have a pinch runner.
That would be Cole Loudon. Pinch running. You can pinch run for pitcher catcher and not have to have them come out.
Yeah.
And this is interesting too because Ambrose had a great at bat last time, worked the count and got a walk, and he hit a rocket down the right field line as well. So this is a big at bat right here for O'Brien.
So again, a pinch runner down at first base. Ambrose will step up as O'Brien for the third straight inning, has a runner to deal with and misses in the dirt. Nice job there by Hostetler behind the plate.
Turn into a hockey goalie when those, you see those 58-foot pitches coming at you. Use every part of my body to block it. That's a great job by Hostetler.
Yeah, I'm sure those are a lot of fun to take off the chest protector.
Well, you know, they don't call them the tools of ignorance for nothing.
No kidding. Here's the pitch on the way, and that's going to stay up high, 2-0.
I like the thought of the breaking ball there. Just started it off a little bit too high because he had Ambrose locked up there.
O'Brien now down at 2 balls and no strikes with just 1 away, and he misses badly again, 3-0.
I think you're definitely taken here if you're Ambrose. Give him 1 pitch, and then if he pipes one in and 3-1, I think he's got the green light.
And Loudon down at first base. Here's the pitch by O'Brien, and it's in there for a strike.
And now, I think, especially coach's kid, you're looking for a pitch in a certain area. Where's your nitro zone? If you get it there, you're letting it loose.
Well, it's high and inside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks.
That was not his nitro zone as we get a mound visit from Coach Harmon.
This is the first time they'll go out and talk to O'Brien and try to settle him down as Brzezinski is due up next. By the way, we are scheduled to be back on the air, I believe, on Saturday.
Yes.
We were supposed to have a Friday game, but that is now off the schedule that we know of right now.
According to the schedule, it is off the schedule.
And then, of course, you want to go to IndianaSRN.org and check out the upcoming games.
Runners at first and second. Now
pretty soon we'll have not only
first baseman,
college baseball headed your way, because it'll be here quickly. You have track and field still to come up, and you mentioned again you'll be down at the ballpark, every once a month for down the line.
Yeah. Show with the Indianapolis Indians.
So now runners at first and second after O'Brien in a very short chat will face Brzezinski. And time called. That was too long of a look there for Brzezinski. You know, sometimes when you think about a pitcher, and I think we talked about this before, if you're splitting your concentration on 2 different things, some pitchers don't handle that very well.
No, they don't.
See how O'Brien does here as he tries to keep that runner close, and then that should be a pass ball.
Oh, that's a huge break for Heritage Christian now. Base knock can give him the lead. Now, question strategy-wise, if you're Coach Harmon, do you put him on with 1 out and try and keep a double play in order, or it looks like they're going to pitch to him?
Mm-hmm. So take that out as you have runners now at second and third. Loudon again at third, and the pitch way off the mark, and O'Brien really struggling here in the 4th. We cannot see if there is the bullpen areas out of our sight at this stage. There's a fastball called strike.
Nice pitch there. Definitely didn't want to go 3-0.
It was the Williams 2-run home run that got things going again for the Eagles in the last innings. This is a foul ball down the line and out of play. We'll go to 2-2.
So now the big thing here for Brzezinski is you want to at least try and pull it to the right side, because that'll get 1 run home and tie the game up.
Yeah.
At the very least, that's what or get a fly ball, sack fly. Either way, your job is to get that runner home from third.
And you see Keating down at third base. He is right at the edge. In fact, that side is close in, and a swing and a miss. Brzezinski. And boy, I tell you what, O'Brien needed that one too.
That was a big, big pitch right there. A little bit higher on the outside part of the plate.
Second baseman, number 23.
So here is Alex Jackson. Jackson singled and scored. He was part of that 2-run home run by Ryan Williams in the 3rd inning. Boy, if you're O'Brien here and you can leave those 2 runners on base, how big is that?
That would be a huge momentum shift.
Now he seems to be a little bit more comfortable just coming back and throwing that fastball and getting himself into that rhythm again. He had missed a couple of times with those off-speed pitches, and they weren't even close, but jumps ahead of Jackson here. Ground ball in the hole. There is Dietrich. Long throw, not in time. And a run will score, and we're now tied at 3.
That was a nice try by Dietrich, but, man, that's just a tough play to make.
Run scored, 2 outs. Runners is first and third. Batting in the ninth.
Sliding, couldn't get up and get that back foot set to get a lot on that throw, so he's kind of had to all-arm it, couldn't get it over there in time, and now we're right back at square one.
Yep. Just like nothing happened. 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. A rally over the last 2 innings here for Heritage Christian. O'Brien blows it by. Reed is the snap throw to third, not in time.
Reed was trying to do some damage there. As the left center field gap is just huge.
It is. Yeah, you're talking about Duncan playing way over in right field. The pitch inside, and the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm curious if Coach Ambrose may put Jackson in motion to, again, kind of mess a little bit with O'Brien.
Yeah. See O'Brien take that deep breath and then misses outside 2-1.
It's moments like this where I don't understand where people like baseball's boring. It's so strategic.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. Like, what if he does this or maybe that?
Well, they don't know baseball.
Well, yeah, it's true.
Pitch is a called strike. Looked like it might have been a little bit high from our vantage point. Well, once you set things into motion, you kind of understand them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't, well, why aren't they doing something? Well, there is something going on.
There's a lot going on.
That one hit down the line, base hit. That'll score a run. Klug quickly able to get that one in foul territory, and diving back into second base was Jackson. But how about that? Another run across, and all of a sudden it's 4-3.
What a great play by Klug to get to that ball quickly and prevent Jackson from getting to third base. Now a wild pitch won't get another run home. But nice job taking it opposite field by Reed, just serving it right over the third baseman's head, getting that run home. And now Heritage has the lead.
Yeah.
I'm sure Wiggins is ecstatic about that.
2 umpires are getting together. I'm not sure what this discussion would be about. Any guesses on this one?
No idea.
I do know that when Jackson rounded second, he was hustling to get back to the bag at second base, and you see the field umpire heading back out that way. I don't know if he's going to say anything to the base runner or not, or just get back into position, so we don't know.
All right. No harm, no foul, I guess.
But it's a minute of our life we'll never get back again.
Hey, if it's a minute where I'm at the ballpark, I'm good.
Here is again Ryan Williams. Of course, had that 2-run shot in the third. O'Brien might be on a short leash right here if he doesn't get the out.
Big batter here for O'Brien.
Reed and Jackson on base, and O'Brien throws it into center field. But I think, tell you what, I'm going to give a little guess on that one. You think he might have done that on purpose and try to get the runner to go to third, the center fielder coming in the way he was?
That's a great question. I don't know, unless he's always backing up like that as Coach Harmon goes to the mound. You do see sometimes in the major leagues, they don't like throwing on second. They'll just drop the ball, take a balk, and send the runner to third in extra innings.
Yeah. Of course, now you have the meetings about everywhere, and I think that's going to be it for O'Brien. So he's done. We'll come back, tell you about the new pitcher in a moment. 4-3, Heritage Christian with the lead.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
We have our first pitching change of the evening. It'll be a left-hander coming in here for Bishop Chatard as Jack Underwood, who was in right field, will now take over as the pitcher.
So we got to figure out who goes to right field. 5 for 33.
5, is that Coors?
Coors, yeah.
So Coors will step in
at right field.
Now this game changed when the home run hit by Williams, and of course he is going to be a chance here to face the left-hander Ian Underwood. His first look at the left-hander.
That would be Eddie Coors. He's a senior. Throws right, hits right. He'll take, well, actually, he won't. We'll see. I don't think he'll take a lineup spot away because the DH was hitting for O'Brien.
Yep. Now you see Underwood getting a few warm-up tosses. You take a look there, too, at Ryan Williams. And, again, he got things started with that 2-run home run in the third. And, of course, now you've had 2 more runs scored here in the 4th inning. And, boy, how many times we've talked over and over, and the walks will come back to kill you, and they did again.
Yeah. Can't quite close the book yet on O'Brien because both those runners are his.
Yeah, so far he'll get the 3 2/3 innings, but
yep,
you said they got some guys out there that are his. And see if Williams can add to O'Brien's misery here in the 4th inning as the pitch is in there for a strike.
That's a good pitch. Good start for Underwood. And I would bet that Harmon didn't let O'Brien finish the inning so he could go lefty versus lefty here.
Yeah, I agree. Well, now Hostetler will go out and talk with Underwood, make sure they're on the same page. You know, things change for a catcher when you go from one pitcher to another, and you got to know what that guy throws as opposed to maybe what you saw O'Brien throw.
Yes.
And you're throwing with a left-hander now. Underwood look back at second. Here's the pitch on the way, missed way outside.
Nice job by Hostetler again, getting in that right-handed batter's box to snag it.
Well, as you said earlier, we're still so early in this season. You talk about each team playing, 5 and 4 games. I mean, we're barely skimming the surface, so a lot to be tried here early. 2-1, though. Sure, you don't want to fall 0-2 in the conference, but
yeah, you don't want to fall down 3-1 to Williams either after what the rocket he hit last at bat.
Now back in once again. Here's your 2-1 pitch. It's in there for a strike. 2-2, and you know one thing about Williams too, he can be a little more patient now.
You know, that was a nice breaking ball there by Underwood. So now Williams has to protect.
Big pitch right here for Underwood as he gets the sign from Hostetler. The pitch on the way, and didn't miss by much. 3-2.
Tried to throw that same pitch again, but if he stays on the outside part of the plate, there's a pretty good-sized hole between the third baseman, Keating and Dietrich out there, with Dietrich shading towards the runner in second base.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and now Underwood will look the runner back to second. And they'll be taking off with a 3-2 count, 2 away. 2 runs across, giving the Eagles the 4-3 lead, but they'd love to add to it right here.
Runners off.
Grounded foul, first base side.
And that's an advantage now that Heritage Christian has. Full count, 2 outs, the runners can be off with the pitch. So, a long single could possibly score 2.
Yeah. You got to like Williams. I know he hit that home run, and everybody was impressed by that. But you know, he was hitting from the very beginning. Good leadoff hitter, good speed. Guy can get on base for you and rips that one. Base hit. Jackson rounding third. The throw comes into first, and it's now a 5-3 ball game. Now Williams with 3 runs driven in. And he simply burned that one, didn't he?
Big night for Mr. Williams as they extend the lead.
Well, here is Wiggins now. Wiggins 0 for 2, but he hit that last one really hard.
Oh, yeah, he did. He's really wanting to give himself some breathing room here with the big knock, big 2-out knock.
Well, of course, you have Williams down at first. A guy who has plenty of speed can add a little pressure here to Underwood. Got to be careful where you throw the pitch right here. Missed high, snap, throw it into third, not in time, but got to be careful if you're David Reed as well.
Well, and if you're Hostetler, any bad throw at all, left fielder shitted way over to left center.
Yeah.
And who knows what Williams does if that goes into left field.
Wiggins back in. First time to look at Underwood. The pitch low and inside, 2-0. Well, now if you're Underwood, you're just trying to get out of this inning.
Yeah. It also could be an intentional walk.
That could be. Don't give him anything good, right?
Yeah, take the bat out of his hands. Oh, no, Nubber.
That went off of Wiggins' foot. That always, I'm sure, feels really good.
See, the problem with the turf field is you can't say rub some dirt on it.
You can't, yeah.
Rub some rubber pellets on it? I don't know what you do.
No, the game isn't the same, is it?
It's not, yeah.
See, all
These
artificial,
kids these days.
yeah. Wearing these gloves and everything. Here's the 2-1 pitch and a big cut and miss. Wiggins didn't guess right on that one. Wiggins struck out looking back in the first inning, lined out in the third. Chance to drive in a run right here. He is the 9th hitter to bat in the inning.
Again, big gap in left center. Ooh. That is a courageous take right there.
Might have been a little bit off the plate, but it'd be one of those, like you said, I might be swinging myself.
Yeah. And again, Williams gets a head start now with a full count.
Can Underwood get out of this inning? Time called by Wiggins. 2 runs in the third, 3 runs here in the fourth. And again, we're still looking at O'Brien. Still 1 runner is his responsibility.
Yeah, right now he's on the hook for the 5 runs in 3 2/3 of an inning.
Big pitch here again by Underwood. And he hits him. So now bases will be loaded. Blake McDonald steps to the plate.
Bases are loaded. Now batting in the
So now you're looking at
there.
an Eagles team going around the order here, and they can add a lot of misery here for Underwood.
Blake McDonald, 9th batter to hit. 3rd in the order, righty against a lefty. This is a big moment in this baseball game.
And you like your number 3 hitter, McDonald, to 0 for 2 tonight. His first look at Underwood, and the pitch is inside. And anybody knows you keep throwing, getting behind in the count, you're going to be in big trouble.
Can you imagine being a parent of a player in this situation? I'd be a mess.
I'd be out there somewhere.
Yeah, not close to anybody.
No.
Yes.
I'd be pacing. And
yeah. I mean, calling the game is one thing, or when you would play is one thing, but if it's your kid,
yeah,
it's a different story completely.
Yeah. Probably why they have a lot of liquor stores. Here's the 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss.
Ooh, he was looking to do some damage there.
Going away for the Eagles, though, to bounce back the way they have after giving up 3 runs in the first 2 innings, and now 5 unanswered. Here's the pitch on the way. Hit well into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And the big inning continues thanks to the Blake McDonald base hit to drive in 2 more.
Couple of RBIs there. That'll close the book on O'Brien, but a big inning for the Eagles.
Allmeyer will step to the plate 0 for 2. Now the 10th hitter in the inning.
2 outs, runners at first and second. Now batting in the 4th position, number 8.
We were talking now about 8 unanswered runs. What's the final line on O'Brien?
Get it here in a second. 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch.
Boy, and he started out so well, too.
Yes.
He gave up just the 1 walk in the first 2 innings, and then that big blast by Williams, and just couldn't get at the outs he needed here in the 4th inning. Popped him up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Carr.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Right between them. The sun is shining on these cars today.
For somebody didn't want anybody to have their car hit, you sure anticipating one of those going over there, huh?
The insurance agents are cringing at every foul ball.
Swing and a miss, and Allmeyer will strike out. But what a half inning for the Eagles. They put 5 runs on the board. Actually, 6 runs on the board. Am I right? 5 runs on the board.
That'd be 6.
6, yes. 6 runs on the board. They lead at 8-3.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Tonight's game brought to you by the Morales Group. The Morales staffing agencies find jobs by building futures. Contact them at 317-472-7600. The Morales Group serves Indianapolis, Columbus, Lafayette, Anderson, Greenfield, as well as Louisville, Kentucky. We want to make one correction.
Yeah.
The scoreboard out there said 8. Of course, we looked up and said 8. It's actually 7. They got 5 in the inning.
That is correct. Our math was right.
Yes. Yeah, well,
we can count.
That's why I kept looking at it. Seeing only 5 runs there in the 4th inning, and it was hard to look at it and see that it's 5. But
I would hope I know how to count since I'm a teacher.
That would help.
I don't teach math, though, so we're good.
Well, Wiggins now has a 4-run cushion to work with here as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, and things changed pretty dramatically. And it kind of shows you, again, if you pitch behind in the count, you walk guys, it's going to come back and bite you about every time.
It will haunt you like no one else. And if you're Wiggins, you can relax knowing you've got that cushion. Like, I'm just going to throw strikes. I got 7 guys behind me. Let them make plays, and let's get up, get down, and get after it.
You got that right. So we'll go to Underwood to lead things off here for the Trojans in the bottom of the 4th inning. No changes for Heritage Christian. Wiggins chance now to work in his 4th inning here tonight. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning so far. A good pitch right there for a strike.
Reminder, too, because Underwood is hitting, he came in from right field, so Coors is now the person being DH'd for. So the lineup doesn't change.
Boy, chopper down the line, gets by the 3rd baseman, and heading to 2nd and sliding with the double will be Jack Underwood.
That's a tough play for Ambrose. Just ate him up.
Now batting in the 9th position,
yeah, that was very, very tough. He had to decide whether that was going to be a foul ball or a fair ball, and it was very, very close. But now Hostetler steps up with a runner down at 2nd base. Pitch by Wiggins is outside for a ball.
Just, a little Baltimore chop that gets.
Well, you might
by.
play that a little bit differently if you're on grass, but with it being turf, there's a big cut. You hear that one by Hostetler.
I'm sure you probably don't get the bounce.
Yeah.
That you got if you're on grass.
Count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 0 for 1 tonight as Hostetler struck out back in the second inning. Took something off that one.
Pulled the string.
You look at Wiggins again, and it looks effortless when he's throwing it. I don't think he's even sweating. I mean, he just looks like it's just another day at the office. Got him looking on that one. 2 straight breaking pitches.
And the crazy thing to think is he's going to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
As Coach Ambrose making a visit to the mound.
Well, I think they are going to call it here for Wiggins. So Wiggins, after getting the strikeout of Hostetler, is done for the night. We have a pitching change on the way here for the Heritage Christian Eagles. We'll come back in a moment right here on IndianaSRN.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners because you can't possibly have all the talent you need to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Well, you get a look there at J.P. Olson, left-hander. So we've seen both teams go to their bullpen here in this one, and Olson will now try to at least finish out these middle innings and go from there. So each team going to their bullpen with left-handed pitchers. Now Wiggins, I'm sure he threw a lot of pitches early, so we're not really surprised that he will leave after 3 1/3, because we got a lot of baseball to be played this year, and we'll need to throw too much with a 4-run lead at this point, so it'll be Olson who will step in.
Again, book's not closed on Wiggins because of the runner at second, but the 4 walks, I think, were the big thing for him. He had 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs as of now in 3 1/3.
So now Wiggins will stay in the ball game, though. He's going to be in center, correct?
That is correct. So I'm going to assume McDonald moved to right.
So now that'll bring up Ryan Keating.
I see why you use the dry erase now. It's a lot easier.
Isn't it? Yeah, you can kind of look at it and go, well, I didn't make any mistakes here. I'm just,
Looks like I did some work, though.
You did. First pitch is high for a ball. As we mentioned, the wind has picked up a little bit here at later stages of this game. Keating doubled his last time up.
And the shadows have kind of gone right of the home plate circle.
Pitch is way outside, 2-0. Yeah, they're not as much of a factor as we thought they might be, and you're right. You can see them over here to our right. Keating 1 for 2 tonight. Has a runner again in scoring position, and another miss, 3-0.
It's not what you want to do if you're coming in as a reliever, is immediately put the first guy on.
Here at the high school level, if you get a lot of good arms, you're in fantastic shape. And of course, at beating any level, but you get 3 or 4 guys can really throw.
Yeah.
But generally, you don't have as much depth as you like in that position, and there's a walk to Keating. So now runners at first and second.
First and second. And now batting in the second position.
Here is Chris Klug.
One thing it does now is it brings the double play into effect with the runner on first. So if you're Olson, you're looking for a hard ground ball to either short or second, turn it over, get in the dugout.
Breaking pitch stays inside. Klug, by the way, is 0 for 2 tonight.
That looked like a good pitch.
Yeah, the coaching staff for Heritage Christian thought it was too.
Yeah, Klug's flied out twice.
Pitch in there for a strike. We saw the Eagles storm back with a big 5-run fourth inning to take the 7-3 lead, and I want to see this one slip away now here in this fourth inning as that's fouled away. Another just missed it. We got to get one. I know it won't be your car. It won't be Ben's car because I think he moved his way down there too. So, see, I live dangerously. Mine's right across the street. That's a wild pitch. Runners will advance. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Klug, and the dynamics of this game changing a little bit as well.
Yes, it is. 1 out now. No double play in order. Base knock. Makes this really interesting.
This is your number 2 hitter, and he lines this one into center field. Wiggins has that one bounce over his head. He misplays it. 2 runs are going to score. Klug on his way to third. Are they going to wave him in? Nope, they're going to hold him. He ran through the stop sign. The throw is off the mark. That should be a base hit and a 3-base error on Wiggins in center, who misplayed and he just bounced over his head.
Wow. And you want to talk about a game changer.
So Klug all the way around after picking up the single.
The ebbs and flows of this game. Holy cow.
Wow. Here's J.P. Polakin. Well, you got to give Klug a lot of credit because he got the stop sign down there. He said, nope, I'm going.
He was motoring.
Pitch is low and inside for a ball, so 3 runs back here for Bishop Chatard. Polakin walked and scored back in the first, grounded out in the second, and he's quickly headed 2-0.
You know, the thing there, people are like, well, how does Wiggins let that happen? You got to remember, he plays on a grass field normally. So what he's doing there is he's waiting for the ball to bounce up so he can make a strong throw home to try and get that second runner.
Yeah.
But then when it hits off the turf, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Super Ball it becomes, and it goes over his head, and all 3 runs score.
And it had a lot of momentum, too, because it went all the way to the fence.
Yes, it did.
There's a strike, 3-1 out of Polakin.
I think that's why he played back a little bit, is because he was going to try, because he's got a gun for an arm. He was going to try and gun down that second runner if they were sent him.
You know, when I first saw him, that's a walk now to Polakin. When I first saw Wiggins, I thought he was going to make a play on it, like it was an easy fly ball for him. So I was a little surprised when he kind of held up there. Here's Sitzman. Sitzman has walked twice. Another runner on base. And the pitch is outside, and right now, Olson's having a really tough time. Of course, you'd hate to, if you're the Heritage Christian Eagles, there's a fly ball. Wiggins will have a beat on this one. He's going to throw to first, and a strong throw not in time, but that'll get your attention.
Yeah, a little. Holy smokes.
Here's Aiden Duncan.
2 outs and the runner staying at first base.
Yeah, that's the beauty as well as the breaking of hearts that baseball does, because I think he held back because he didn't want to dive for it so the ball wouldn't get by him and make a big play. Yeah. And the big play ends up happening because of that. You know, it's just one of those quirky things about baseball that happens.
Pitches low and inside. Duncan doubled back in the first inning, struck out in the third. All of a sudden, again, it's a one-run ball game. Pitches outside, 2-0. Now, we've seen baseball games. Nothing should surprise us, right?
No, nothing should.
One little bounce here or there, and the next thing you know, everything can fall apart one way or the other. 3-0 now, and again, if you're pitching from behind again, like we're seeing Olsen doing, going to give you something to hit, and he misses low.
Yeah, we've watched the game long enough to know that not to expect, because when you start to expect something, that's when something brand new happens. You're always going to see something new as the pitching coach taking a visit.
Well, that's 3 walks now by Olsen, and you're hoping that when you bring in your reliever that you get some strikes thrown here. But that has not been the case, and whenever you see a coach go like this, it's like,
palms up.
What are you doing?
Yeah, if the coach goes palms up, that's never a good sign.
Never a good sign at all.
It's like that one guy on social media that has the kids, and he always goes out there and he's like, boy, they told me not to tell you that you suck, but guess what? Like, he's just making jokes at these little kids' expense on the mound to try and take their mind off of the pitching.
Well, you know what? It doesn't do any good to go out there and yell at him, because that's not going to help, is it?
No, it doesn't.
Here is William Dietrich, as you're now looking at the 8th hitter here for Bishop Chatard as we play here in the bottom half of inning number 4. That one is popped up on the right side, and that's going to do it. But a couple of runs, 3 runs scored in the inning. 7-6 Heritage Christian with a 1-run lead.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Well, high school baseball here on IndianaSRN. We have a combined 13 runs now after a kind of a slow start. And now it's going to come down to who's going to have I would imagine, the most effective pitching here in your bullpen. And, boy, you can't stress it enough. I look back at my score sheet. You see 2 walks given up. You had a wild pitch in that inning. You had a wild pitch. You had 3 walks and a double. It just... we can't stress it enough. You just, a lot of times just throw. And the pitch outside, we start kind of where we left off, is Tucker McVeigh leading things off. McVeigh walked and scored as part of that 5-run 4th inning. Swing and a miss.
Almost like he took a little bit off there.
A bunch of walks to deal with, as this is a fly ball into center field. And coming in to make the catch is Duncan. There's one away. That'll bring up now Will Ambrose.
1 out and no runners on base. Now
Ambrose has walked twice.
Number 20, Will Ambrose.
This will be the second time he's had a look here. And his first time, I believe, he's had a look at
the lefty.
The lefty. Wind has kind of quieted down a little bit. We had a area there for a moment where it was blowing pretty well, but now it has died down, and the pitch is inside 1-0. Yeah, I go back to sometimes when I see a pitcher, sometimes we talked about this too, they try to be too fine, too perfect, just Some days you got to grab the ball and throw. That's a strike. I know there's a difference between throwing and pitching, but sometimes you just got to let it go. Yeah.
That's why there's so very, very, very few guys you could say had pinpoint control that can make it go exactly where they want, because it's so difficult.
Yeah. Well, and again, this game is as much mental as any other game.
Oh.
You know, I mean, you start thinking, well, I can't throw strikes, and you're too tight on the ball or too loose on the ball, and the next thing you know, it's everywhere.
Are you gripping the bat too tight?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Here's foul tip held on.
And what did Yogi Berra say? 75% of the game is 90% mental?
That's right.
Something like that? Yeah, it's the truth.
Well, I noticed when we were hitting at Victory Field last year, you were pretty tight on the bat too, weren't you?
I wanted to make sure I didn't blow my arm out like I did the year before.
Ambrose strikes out, and the throw down in time. It'll be strikeout, throw out for 2 away.
Okay, I didn't blow my arm out.
But you'd have been on the DL again.
Yeah, I would have, yes. I would have, yes.
Here is Hayden Berzinski. I think once you settled in, you're okay, right?
Yeah. You know, line drives right to left field.
Yeah.
That's all I was looking for.
Well, and of course, you got the pitching machine out there, right? Instead of was it a real guy? I don't remember.
Yeah,
was it a real guy? No, pitching. Yeah.
And then I always got to go wood bat. Can't go with aluminum bats.
Yeah. I know there are a few other media guys, especially from the TV, the sissy guys. They were using, aluminum. So, but you'd expect that from TV guys.
Oh, yeah.
0-2 now to Brzezinski.
Taking the Happy Gilmore swings, trying to see if they get to the warning track.
So Brzezinski now down in the count, 0-2. You see catcher set up on the outside, and that's going to be in the dirt.
Good inning for Underwood so far.
Yeah. But how many times have we seen where there's 2 outs and then things completely fall apart?
Choking up a little bit here is Brzezinski. Love to see it.
Underwood with that high leg kick and the pitch, and he misses outside 2-2.
The one guy in the big leagues that I've seen does that all the time, Anthony Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Gets 2 strikes, chokes up on it. Like, I don't care how much money you're paying me. I'm trying to get a knock here.
Yeah, exactly. 3-2 now to Brzezinski. I was looking around to see where all your former Cub players are the other day.
Thanks. I can tell you where they are. Cardinals got one of them, which
they
is
did.
Disgusting.
He looks really good in red, by the way.
Stop.
Here's the payoff pitch, ripped down the first base line, snagged there, and tell you what, Sitzman steps on the bag, made a nice play, and that's going to do it for Heritage Christian here at the top of the 5th. After 4.5, Heritage Christian leads at 7-6.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Back once again here at Bishop Chatard, a 7-6 ball game as we head to the bottom half of inning number 5. So Ashley Underwood and Hostetler do up.
You got Rizzo with the Yankees.
Yeah.
You got Baez with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Bryant with the Rockies.
Yeah.
Fowler's retired. Hayward's a Dodger.
Ugh. That's disgusting. What was he thinking there, huh?
Contreras, we won't say where he's at.
Yeah.
Johnny Lester's retired. Lackey's retired. Chapman's Royals, I think.
Well, where did his career go? Did you end up in Kansas City of all things?
Too much of the juice.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think for him.
Well, we're in what you would consider now kind of crunch time at
We
this
are.
stage. Yeah, we're in the last couple of innings of this one.
In the 7th position, number 7, Joe Ashley.
Just over 3 innings of work. There you go. You just look for a strike, and Ashley behind it 0-1.
Oh, yeah, we can close the book on Wiggins. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch.
This one hit up the middle, softly backhanded by the second baseman. Throw to first, and a bang, bang. Oh, wait a minute. Say he pulled his foot off the bag. Well, that's a tough break there for the first baseman. Looked like he made it. Let's take another look.
Is that an error, or is that a...
Well, he started to call him out, changed his call right there.
Now batting in the 8th position, number 24, Jack Underwood.
Here's Underwood, doubled his last time up.
The umpire's going to talk about it?
Well, he's going to ask, I think, for some help. See if the home plate umpire, and they're going to say he is safe, so he apparently did pull his foot off the bag.
Know how to benefit of instant replay in high school.
Or he'd come over and talk to us, right?
Well.
We might be able to help him a little bit. Underwood's been on base twice.
Depends on how much they grease our palms.
Squares to bunt, pitch low and inside, 1-0. Well, this is big right here. If you're Heritage Christian, you're down by a run. Certainly don't want to give up anything else the rest of the way. If you're also Bishop Chatard in a one-run ball game, and that one nearly thrown away.
A great play by Brzezinski over there, as Underwood scored twice tonight for the Trojans.
Yeah, he's had a good night. Got a stolen base to his credit as well. This one's popped up. Foul territory, third base side, squeezed there, and Ambrose makes it out number one. That's a big out there for Olson.
It is.
Now batting in the 9th position,
considering he might have been now 2 outs. Here's Hostetler. Where things get a little tighter here in the later stages of a ball game when it's a one-run game, and certainly don't want to make any mistakes. There's a pitch in there for a strike for Hostetler.
You definitely have to get the ground ball double play here so they don't have a chance to flip the lineup over to the top.
Yeah. Hostetler's struck out twice. Caught looking his last time up in the 4th inning. Low and inside, nearly caught a piece of him. Of course, both these teams will, I think, I'll have to look at my schedule, but one of these teams back in action tomorrow. That's in there for a strike. So they have a quick turnaround time. That one gets by the catcher, McVeigh, and a runner will advance into scoring position. Yeah, here I am trying to be modern and find the game notes I had earlier on my phone. Not as good as I should be, huh? Well,
Oh, you're incredibly tech savvy.
Hard, I know. Pitch is low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, thinking a career change, maybe getting into the tech field, you know. That one hit well. That'll be a base hit. They'll hold the runner at third, and then on the throw, how about Hostetler? Heads up play down to second base.
That, kids, is why you hit the cutoff man.
Yep.
To prevent that runner from getting in scoring position.
And Heritage Christian
Number 2, Jack Murray.
will have a pinch runner. There is Jack Murray down at second base.
Batting in the 1st position, number 16, Ryan Keating.
And here is Ryan Keating, leadoff hitter now for Bishop Chatard.
1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. What an interesting ball game.
Yeah, give Bishop Chatard plenty of credit, bouncing right back here in the 5th inning. Still just 1 away. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Keating 1 for 2 tonight. He does have a walk and a run scored, a double back in the 2nd inning. Pitch on the way in the dirt, and the count even at 1-1. Keating with that double had a A couple of RBI in that second inning. At that point, it given Bishop Chatard a 3-0 lead, and that's in the dirt as well. So 2-1 now to Keating. Now runners at second and third, and he misses again.
I mean, he's down in the zone where he wants to be, just a little too low, that's all. But the problem is you got Klug on deck who hit that wonky ball to center field.
There's a strike. And he's working from the windup here and seems to be a little more comfortable in the windup than he would be in the stretch. And now runners will get pretty good leads at second and third, and got him looking. Big strikeout of Ryan Keating.
That's a huge strikeout.
With 2 outs.
Wow. Boy, you want your leadoff hitter swinging the bat.
I
Right? Here's Klug, as you mentioned, had that big hit in the fourth inning. Boy, you did get. I guess I'm just somebody. Mine might be too much of a free swinger, huh? Hey, give me the bat, let me swing it. I know there's situations you need to.
I'll never forget the time one of the times my wife got most mad at me. Oldest son, last Little League game of the year. Going up. We're sitting right behind the on-deck circle. He gets up there. I said, "Don't take the bat with you." He's like, "What are you saying?" I was like, "He's not going to swing anyway, so don't even take the bat with you." She smacked me so hard. And guess what happened? He didn't swing.
He didn't?
No, he didn't swing. No. I said, "I told you."
Yeah. That was an undeserved smack, I'm sure. Pitches outside, 2-1. Maybe he was just doing it to get even with you.
It was the
I'll show you.
It was the last game of the year. No. It might have been the last year he played, actually.
2-1 pitches up high, 3-1. Yeah, why do you take it up there if you're not going to swing it? I mean, it's called a bat for a reason, right?
Swing it from the fat part. I don't care. Just swing it.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's low and outside for ball 4. Bases are now loaded for J.P. Polakin.
Full pond.
2 outs and the bases loaded. Now batting in the third position,
Well,
number 32.
Again, this game can change pretty quickly.
Little conference on the mound here.
Yeah, hey, throw a strike, will you? By the way, J.P. Polakin has walked twice. He has scored a run. So we go lefty-lefty. Well, this is a situation if you're J.P. Polakin. You got that left-hander out there and kind of struggling right now throwing strikes. There's a ball. Just kind of wait for the pitch you're looking for.
And now the shadows have moved again to where they're over the home plate circle. That makes things interesting as well.
Here's the 1-0 pitch in there for a strike.
Another big moment in this ball game.
That one bouncing away from the catcher. That'll be a wild pitch, and the run will score from third. Ashley scoring for the second time. And guess what? We're right back again where we started at 7-all.
I have that as 3 wild pitches for Olsen.
And you're right. So do I. So now chance for Bishop Chatard to take the lead, and that one hits him on the leg. And guess what? Bases are going to be loaded again.
Oh, cow.
With 2 outs and
the Sitzman coming up.
Now batting in the 4th position.
Well, we're going to have another visit to the mound as Olsen's kind of fallen apart here in this 5th inning. And you won't be able to talk to him a second time because that's your second visit. We'll have another pitching change. Tell you about the new pitcher in a moment. Tied at 7.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
At one point in my life, alcohol ruled supreme. It was not impossible for me to wake up just as drunk as before I went to sleep, and I use the term go to sleep loosely. I think on most nights it wasn't falling asleep, it was just passing out. There was no way I was getting out of it with my own willpower, so I decided to give Wheeler a try. And since my graduation from Wheeler's program, alcohol has not had any kind of hold on me whatsoever.
Well, we will see another left-hander. This time it'll be Owen Alaskan, who has checked into the ball game. So Olson done for the night. Of course, he's got 3 guys standing out there on base. There's still his responsibility, and again, we're tied at 7.
So I have 1 1/3 for Olson. 1 2/3.
Well, it appeared at times he was actually going to be effective, and then the next thing he ended up with a wild pitch, and he gets behind in the count, and that's why he is now set for the showers. If I'm not mistaken, I think that we have a change here in right field. Is Borowski in now for Bishop Chatard in right field?
Heritage is out in the field.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. The blue on the blue. So here is Sitzman. Pops this one up, and that'll go foul. Will hit Carr.
Almost got house.
Well, we're 0 for tonight when it comes to hitting cars, so if you're a car owner here, you're in good shape. That pitch skips in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, each team will have some work to do in their pitching department after tonight. That pitch is up high. And now you're behind in the count, 2-1. Sitzman walked twice, flew out his last time up. And misses badly again, 3-1.
Up in the zone. Can't seem to get the ball down.
It'll drive your coaches absolutely nuts.
Oh, man. Lose your hair.
Here's your 3-1 pitch, and that'll be ball 4. Walks in the go-ahead run. So we've had, 2 wild pitches in the inning. We've had hit batsmen. We've had another walk. We've had a single.
Now batting in the 5th position, number 14.
That's 5 runs for Olson. And he's still counted for with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Those are his guys.
And here's another instance. You have 2 innings in a row where Bishop Chatard has now sent at least 8 batters to the plate. That pitch is inside.
It goes to show you how important Wiggins is to the squad.
Yeah. No doubt about that. There's a strike. Duncan doubled back in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd, and then walked in the 4th. Might have a loose baseball. Nope, the fence is open down the right field line. And I think we might even be looking at a pinch runner here. Nope. That's going to come out and get some padding or gloves. All right, here we go. The 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be popped up into left field, and there to squeeze that one is Williams, and that's going to do it for Bishop Chatard here in the 5th inning. But they come back and take a 1-run lead. They lead at 8-7.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt? It's not a game.
Insulting referees. It's not a game.
Threatening officials? It's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes. It's not a game.
Violent language in the stands? It's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline. It's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot. It's not a game.
And we head to inning number 6 as we continue to go back and forth in this one. The Trojans now lead at 8-7. By the way, Underwood stays in the ball game. He has a chance now to pick up a win, huh?
He does.
Alex Jackson will lead things off. Jackson, a couple of base hits tonight, a couple of runs scored as well in that number 8 hole. We'll see now if Heritage Christian can bounce back, trying to pick up their second win of the year. Ground ball first base side, easy roller. Stepped on the bag immediately, and there's one away. That was hardly even worth the effort there by Brzezinski.
A little number off the end of the bat.
So a quick out. Good news if you're a Bishop Chatard fan, and that'll bring up now, here is Alaskan, who we talked about a little bit ago. Owen hitting in the number 9 spot. And the pitch is outside for a ball.
Yeah, with no DH, then once they took Reed out defensively.
It's outside as well, 2-0.
Again, you'd love to get on base here, flip the lineup back over to the top of the lineup with only one out.
By the way, as Laxon is a right-handed hitter but a left-handed pitcher, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was he a lefty?
Yes.
I think he was, yeah. Pitches in there for a strike.
Most famous player to be a right-handed hitter, left-handed thrower?
Who?
I would have to say Ricky Henderson.
Okay. Pitches way outside. I had a chance to see him steal his single-season base record at Milwaukee's County Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Got his autograph that day, too. Well, I did. My wife did. He wasn't going to give it to me, but he gave it to her.
Ricky loves some Ricky.
That's right. Here's the pitch on the way. Popped up, fouling out of play.
They had a huge sale on Fanatics this winter. Got me an old school batting practice Kelly Green A's jersey with his number on the back.
Really?
No name, just his number.
Oh.
It was fantastic. I was a huge Ricky Henderson fan.
I need to get an Oakland jersey before they move.
To Vegas?
That's right. Off the end of the bat, foul. I think the Vegas A's, well, I mean, kind of fits because, you know, if it's an ace or something, you know, the A's. And it was Oakland. They're not drawing anybody.
No.
There's more people here than there are at their games.
Yeah. Both these teams play better baseball. I shouldn't say that was mean.
Chopper foul left side. Askalaxon hanging in there here in the 6th inning. One away.
Actually, if I ever had to divorce the Cubs, one of the teams I would consider choosing would be the A's.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because of the uniform, or?
No, I just always kind of liked them.
Oh.
Ricky Henderson, for some reason, I love the Jose Canseco,
Mark McGwire.
those squads, and then the Moneyball squads. There's just something about them I liked.
Because I hated them when they were in the 70s. Had Jackson and Campaneris and Joe Rudy and those guys.
It's just touch before my time of watching it.
Pitch is outside for ball 4, and Askelaskson on at first base.
One out, runner at first base.
And that'll bring up now Ryan Williams. Had the big 2-run shot back in the third, so life back in here for the Eagles.
First World Series I remember watching, 1975, Red Sox and the Reds.
Oh, yeah. Which a lot of people thought that the Carlton Fisk home run won in the World Series, but it wasn't.
Just sent it to Game 7. I was mad my parents made me go to bed and I couldn't watch it.
What are your parents thinking?
Well, when you're 8, I was 7. I was 8 years old. 7, 8, one of the two, I forget.
Should have found your radio. And
I know.
Let's see if the Eagles down by 1 here in the 6th inning. Pitch is outside for a ball.
Well, interesting fact. Being over in Kenya this year once the Major League Baseball season started, it's probably the first year in at least 40 years I've missed opening day.
Yeah.
You were. It was like 1 a.m. in the morning when it started.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Big cut there by Williams. Now, did you have TV over there and everything, or?
Well, yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know if where you were, you could get TV.
They were 7 hours ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. Williams play at first. By the way, that ball was nearly dropped at first base. First baseman had to kind of look in his glove there to make sure he still had it.
Second position, number 22.
So 2 away. Here's Andrew Wiggins.
Big hit from Wiggins here would be nice for the Eagles fans.
Wiggins struck out looking his first time up. He lined out hard in the 3rd and then was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Takes the first pitch in there for a strike.
Nice breaking ball from Underwood.
We mentioned a little bit ago, Underwood can hold on, chance to pick up a win here tonight for Bishop Chatard. There's a strike.
2 great pitches.
So now what does Underwood have in store here? Wiggins back in. Underwood checks the runner. The pitch on the way. And this one is hitting just about everything here tonight.
No catcher's interference yet.
Not yet. That one's in there for a called strike, and that'll do it for McDonald. But the 2-run home run by Andrew Wiggins. We head to the bottom half of inning number 6. Now a 9-8 ball game.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Well, if you tuned out for half an inning and came back, you're seeing the score change about every half inning, right?
Yeah, don't doze off during this game. You're missing a lot.
We're still a lot of fans talking about the Andrew Wiggins home run. Now, we did not see it from our vantage point, but I know that from the standpoint of the Bishop Chatard squad, they didn't think that was a home run. They thought that was a foul ball.
And their stands are looking right down the first base line,
yeah,
too.
They are. But nonetheless, it's a home run, and so all of a sudden a Heritage Christian leads it 9-8. Dietrich leads things off here in the bottom half of inning number 6. Pops this one up straight back our way.
Gotta get something.
Take a listen. It was a second bounce, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
It doesn't count.
Nah. Unless it's Ben's.
Unless it's Ben's. No balls and a strike. By the way, Dietrich still looking for his first hit of the night. Chopper third base side. Long throw in time, and they'll get the out at first base.
What an arm by Ambrose.
We've seen Ambrose a couple of times do that tonight. Here is Joe Ashley.
Position, number 7, Joe Ashley.
Ashley, a couple of runs scored tonight. Alaskan's pitch is a little bit high, 1-0. Ashley walked and scored in the second, struck out in the third, and then reached on air in the fifth inning and scored a run. High fly ball into left field. Williams waiting for that one to come down, and 2 quick outs. Well, you feel maybe that Bishop Chatard had kind of some of the air go out of their balloon a little bit right there.
Yeah.
After that home run by Wiggins. Here's Underwood. Underwood has scored a couple of runs, has a stolen base, doubled back in the fourth inning. Breaking pitch up high, 1-0. Well, if Heritage wins it tonight, they'll pick up win number 2 on the season. Had that trip down to Tennessee that didn't certainly turn out as well as they would have hoped, but I'm sure they learned a lot about their baseball team. Underwood at 1-1 now. The pitch on the way. Outside corner for strike 2. If you're looking to the 7th inning, 4, 5, and 6 set to come up for Heritage Christian. Pitch is low for a ball, 2-2.
Allmeyer, McVeigh, and Ambrose. The one good thing for Chatard is, especially if Underwood can get on base, you get the 9-hitter Hostetler, then you get the top of the lineup again for the Trojans in the 7th.
And by the way, I know we still have plenty of sunlight here, but the one thing about it is there's nobody covering the bag, and the runner's going to be safe at first. For some reason, Brzezinski went off the bag, and the pitcher, Alaskan, could not get over there in time, so now we're going to have a pinch runner.
I think that's a play. Your first baseman's got to get to the bag. Again, the pitcher should be covering, but
now coming to the plate, batting in the 9th
looks
position,
like Bridenstine is the new pinch runner, the pinch runner, or courtesy runner down at first. And that'll bring up Hostetler. So will a mistake, not an error though, but a mistake made there for Heritage Christian cost him here. Hostetler singled and scored his last time up in the 5th inning. You know, the one thing that you're around baseball players a lot, they're maybe the wittiest guys you'll ever be around. You know, they got all kinds of stuff going on in that dugout and helping your teammates out as that's in the dirt. Nice job on the block.
McVeigh.
Ooh. Yeah, that one gets away. You've got your pinch runner down at second base and Bridenstine. There's the strike. I like the way this left-hander's throwing so far.
Yeah, I do. He's looked really good, really sharp.
Now trying to keep the Trojans in check here in inning number 6. Pitch is way outside. We have seen all these guys throw a lot of pitches here tonight. I don't know what the total pitch count is you can have in a week or whatever, but you don't see too many complete games the way that pitch count is now.
It makes for interesting, especially if you've got 2 games in a weekend or, however many games you got that week.
Yeah.
You really got to be a good manager of your arms if you're a coach.
That one's popped on the right side. The second baseman going out, calling it, and making the catch is Jackson, and that's going to do it. We will head now to the 7th inning. It's a 1-run ball game.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Well, we head to inning number 7. You see the score right there. Heritage Christian leading it now 9-8. The Andrew Wiggins home run in the 6th inning making the difference so far. And, of course, now Underwood is back out for another inning of work, chance to pick up the win. But they're still going to be looking to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Allmeyer to lead things off, followed by McVeigh and Ambrose.
And if they don't get any runs pushed across, Bishop Chatard has the top of the order up, down 1.
Yeah, and they, by the way, Keating as a base, in fact, a double. They've been on base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times, so it isn't like they've been easy outs for sure.
That is correct.
Allmeyer will lead things off 0 for 3 tonight. I feel like sometimes I'm at Shea Stadium. You get the Jets flying over.
How many people don't even know what Shea Stadium is?
Pitch is outside. You guys know what Shea Stadium is? Look at this. Look at this. Youth of America.
You think Ben would know, but it's the old Mets Stadium.
Yeah. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped, held on. And count is even at 1-1. So I imagine that when we start talking about, Roberto Clemente and stuff, that's way out of your. Oh.
Yeah, if we're talking the 1975 World Series, Ben probably has no idea.
Yeah.
We know Joel definitely doesn't because he's like 10 years old. He's got a nice stash, though.
Oh, yeah, I know. I like that. So you know anything about Carlton Fisk? Oh, you know about that too? Okay. No. That's Buckner. Here's a swing and a miss.
Please do not talk ill will of Bill Buckner.
Yeah, that's right. That wasn't at some point.
Sox, yes.
But it was that home run in the 75 World Series that, I could be related to him. I had some relatives named Fisk.
All right, there you go.
I'll lay claim to that. Not held on this time. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
In my early days of being a Cubs fan, Bill Buckner was one of my favorite Cubs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that wasn't fair. I mean, the ball, I know, went through his leg, but they treated him terribly after that.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting story, actually, as we see what Allmeyer does here.
Break-even pitch is hit foul. Did he get something?
Almost got a car driving.
Oh, no. Is that worth like 50 points?
I don't know. See, Dave Stapleton was the late inning defensive replacement for Bill Buckner because of his ankles. But because the manager thought they were going to win the World Series, he wanted Buckner to be on the field for it. That's why he was out there on the field in the extra innings.
I see. Swung on, look out. That one hits the net this time. We would tell you what, if we can get a car going by, that's worth something. Yeah, I didn't know that about that.
It's a famous Vince Scully line. Behind the bag. Gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. I could not stand that Mets team.
This one is fouled away. Good at bat here for Tyler Allemeyer.
He's losing some baseballs is what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, the budget for baseball probably ain't real big, so you need all those balls back. Used to be a time you had kids running them down, you give them some shoe licorice, and they'd be happy. Pitches outside.
A little Laffy Taffy, you know,
yeah.
Some double bubble.
That's right.
What flavor snow cone were you?
Cherry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
But black licorice, believe it or not.
Gross.
Oh, man, I love black licorice.
That's disgusting.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch once again. Lost him, so Allemeyer. Here is McVeigh.
No outs, and the runner is first. Our next batter, batting in the 5th position, number 24.
McVeigh tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. That wind starting to pick up a little bit again, too. By the way, no lights here, as I mentioned a little bit ago. So if things start getting a little bit later.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but watching last night, Wrigley Field got LED lights.
Oh, really?
They have less actual bulbs, but it's so much brighter as Underwood's coming out.
All right, pitching change. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for the Trojans coming up. 9-8 your score.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Well, you see the new pitcher as Hunter will take over right-hander. Now for the Trojans, they're trying to make sure they don't give up another run as Underwood. Done from the pitching department. Game right now that is now 2.5 hours. It's cutting into your overtime pay.
It's almost past your bedtime.
It's getting close, very close.
I don't know what Keith's going to do. He's ready to watch, Jeopardy.
Yeah, he just got done watching Wheel of Fortune.
Yes,
didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Probably will be a little Andy Griffith after that too.
No, Debbie will make him watch baseball because of the good wife that she is.
Yes, I agree. And she's a Cardinals fan, right?
That's too bad.
By the way, Underwood has moved to right field.
I've always wanted to ask them how they managed during. Well, I don't know if they were married during the 2013 World Series when it was the Red Sox Cardinals.
No, I don't know. Better ask.
Because Keith's a Red Sox fan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's been suffering for a while too.
Well, since 2018. Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah,
a whole 5 years.
Pitch is low and outside. McVeigh tonight, as we mentioned, walked and scored back in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Trojans trying to hold on right here. That'll be a 2-hopper. Bobbled by the second baseman and safe at second.
Oh, boy. E4.
With no outs, runners at first and second.
Palakin looked like to me had plenty of time. That second hop kind of ate him up a little bit.
Yeah, that's one. You know it's coming to you, but you got to pounce on that thing and get it to the bag. He let it play him.
So here's Will Ambrose.
Courtesy runner at first base. Number 7.
Cal Loudon.
So Loudon at first. Well, it was about a courtesy runner. What happened to baseball? You didn't have a courtesy runner.
First baseman playing even with the cut of the grass there. Or, excuse me, it's not grass.
It's not grass.
What am I thinking?
Ambrose has walked twice, scored a run. He struck out. A strikeout, throw out. Go Red Sox. You know, I had a chance to go to Fenway Park as the bunt laid down third base side. The throw to third, and
he called him out.
There was a little bit of a collision there, and I think you're right. They did call him out, didn't they?
He did.
Boy, the third baseman, though, Keating went down. He might have gotten cleated on that one.
He went in head first. Wonder if his shoulder maybe. Yeah, because Allmeyer's rotating his arm. I think it may have been his shoulder.
But there is one away, and Ambrose again will reach on the fielder's choice. Hopefully the third baseman Keating is okay. He's got a heck of an arm down there at third.
Yeah, that was a close play.
I was about ready to say, when I went to Fenway Park, one thing I noticed, and I got a chance to go to all the different parts of the park, press box and everything, is the seats, how small they are.
Oh, man. I went to Old Tiger Stadium. They were not made for big people.
No.
No.
I don't think they're made for little people either. I sat my butt in one of those things. I'm like, it was just squeezing me in. Here is Brzezinski now with runners at first and second with one away here in the top half of inning number 7. Ground ball. Could this be 2? Nice dive. They'll get the one at second, but no throw to first. That's a great play.
That's a nice play, especially after the one he had earlier. Oops, that's gets Ambrose out.
Take a look at this one. It's Polakin and able to get the accurate toss to the shortstop, Dietrich, and here's Alex Jackson.
That runner at third's a huge insurance run for Heritage Christian.
Sure is. Jackson, 2 for 3 tonight, had an infield single back in the 4th inning. That was part of that 5-run inning. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. Bishop Chatard trying to pick up their 4th win of the year. That one's hit toward the shortstop. The flip on to second. They'll get the force there. Everything stays the same. We will head to the bottom half of the 7th. Bishop Chatard needs a run to keep it alive here in the 7th.
After 6.5 innings of play, our score still stands. Bishop Chatard 8, Heritage Christian 9.
Why did they do that?
Backwards?
Yes.
I know. I don't get it either.
What happened to our screen?
Well, we will head to the bottom half of inning number 7. And the last chance here for Bishop Chatard. But the good news is, if you're a Trojan fan, we have the top of the order.
Top of the order.
Well, we know one thing for sure. Good umpire needs to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
You've been out there 2.5 hours, you know. They need a break, too.
Bathroom's all the way past the left field fence.
Oh, no. Well, maybe you should take over for a couple of minutes.
Oh, wait, no.
It's going to be Keating, Klug, and Polakin here in the bottom of inning number 7. And if I'm not mistaken, this is might be the first time they've seen Aslaxkin. If not, they haven't seen him a whole lot.
No. So Wiggins and Olsen had five innings between them.
Yeah. By the way, Will Ambrose again out in right field. Oh, Ambrose is in left field now.
Oh, he's at third.
Oh, he's at third now. Okay.
It's McDonald. Is that
McDonald?
McDonald? Yeah.
Okay, so Blake McDonald is
I thought, does he throw left-handed?
Well, that looks like number 6 out there.
Yeah,
to me.
that is McDonald, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're just now waiting for the field umpire.
There he is.
Is he back? There you go.
He's back. But I do want to point out that the Cubs have had a more recent World Series win than the Cardinals.
That's true.
Now leading off for the Trojans, batting in the first position, number 16.
Well, I feel a kind of a change coming this year. I have that burning in my bosom now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Here's
Watch out.
Keating.
Watch out for Tampa. 162-0.
Wow. Will they come back down to earth? That's the question. Here's the pitch on the way. That one skips away. 1-0.
Tried to start him off with a breaking ball there.
Now, if you're a relief pitcher in this stage, you got a 1-run lead. You're tightening that ball a little bit on the grip, huh?
Still got center field and right field with the sun.
2-0. Keating had that double way back in the second inning that made it a 3-0 game in favor of the Trojans. Chopper, third base side, should be an easy play. There's one. Ambrose, strong throw.
One out.
Here's Klug.
On base. Now batting in the second position.
It was mentioned earlier about, sometimes the pitchers grip that ball a little bit too tight. Sometimes you said as a hitter, you do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You need a base runner here. And
that's what a lot of players you see nowadays, they'll take just a giant breath before they step in the box to tell themselves to relax a little bit.
One thing that's a breaking pitch in there for a strike is you ought to have a yoga coach over there, and you can do a little yoga before you come up.
Makes me think of the movie not Major League, Bull Durham, where he's always like, quick bat.
Yeah, that's
quick
right.
bat.
What a great movie.
Yes.
Just outside. Did he go around? No. J.P. Polakin is on deck. He's been on base 3 times. Still hasn't mustered up a hit yet. Here's the pitch on the way. Breaking ball just outside. 2-1.
Need a base runner.
The pitch on the way. That's a strike. 2-2 to Klug.
Seems like he's throwing all off speed stuff.
Yeah.
Do you maybe go, fastball up in the zone, see if he
Tell you what, I might go
goes
with my
after?
best pitch right here, whatever it may be, but
Hit it.
that's not it. Well, there's your base runner.
Overthrew it.
Yep.
One out and a runner.
Here's Polakin.
First base. Now batting in his third position. Number 30.
Polakin has walked twice, hit by a pitch, and grounded out. This is his 5th at-bat here tonight. If you're looking at percentages, though, you're talking about lefty against lefty. Pitch is on the way and nearly hits him. Snap throw to first, not in time.
Man.
Boy, if you're the Eagles right now, you're just trying to hold your breath a little bit here and get 2 more outs, but it's not coming easy. Polakin back in. The pitch is hit foul. That one just misses. He knew it, too.
Yeah. That was kind of a nubber. Just off his fists.
Those bats have come a long way, too, haven't they? From a standpoint, they actually sound like you would most of the time.
I love what Coach Harmon just said right there. Keep front side in.
Popped him up foul.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's kind of near where my car is.
I didn't hear anything.
That's good news. 1-2 now to J.P. Polakin. Well, you had the power pitching earlier of Andrew Wiggins, and then you got to adjust when you had Underwood in there. You're coming from righty to lefty, and now you're coming with another lefty who's throwing more breaking pitches than fastballs. So you're really having to adjust as a hitter. Might be your 5th at bat. We're just talking about 3 different pitchers. The stretch, and it's time to throw to first. So we're going to see in high school baseball one of these days where they do it Major League Baseball. You can only throw over twice. And
who knows?
Yeah.
I kind of like that, to be honest with you, because it just drives me crazy when people boo a throw over to first. There's a reason for it. Don't boo it.
That hits him.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, Polakin hung right in there as long as he could, but now back-to-back hit batsmen, and that'll bring up Danny Sitzman.
4th position, number 31.
Wow. Well, if you're the Trojans right here, you get a 3-run homer and go home. You know? Just that easy, huh? 3 walks for Sitzman. And he takes a pitch up high for a ball.
Looks like this game is Asalaskans to win or lose.
Yeah, I'll say he's on the hook right now. Ground ball. Diving third baseman makes the stab, the throw to first, and he's safe. Everybody is safe. Heck of a play by Ambrose, but
yeah, he saved a run from being scored.
We have a runner at second base. You'll take another look at it as Murray heads down to second. So now, Aiden Duncan. Duncan doubled back in the first inning. His lone hit of the ball game as he steps in now with the bases loaded and just 1 away. Still a chance here to perhaps get a double play and get out of this, but boy, Duncan, pretty good hitter, the senior in the number 5 spot.
They got Murray pinch running.
Yeah, he's down at
for
second.
Polakin.
So you know that with a little more speed down at second, that's a chance to pull out the win here for Bishop Chatard. Umpire better not have it take too long. We're going to run out of daylight.
That is true.
So here we go. Still just 1 out. Swing and a miss. Big cut there by Duncan. He was thinking about ending it.
Yeah, with the 1 swing.
Must have some homework to do. Got to get home and take care of business.
Yeah.
Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way, and he swung at a bad pitch right there, and he's now down at 0-2.
He did.
A little too anxious. Duncan did strike out back in the 3rd inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit well, and that is going to go foul.
Way out in front of that one.
Well, now everybody's in the shadows here, so we didn't worry too much about that. So here's the pitch on the way. Popped him up.
I got it.
Press box time.
Oh, it didn't come off towards us.
Okay, 0-2. Yeah, if you had the slant this way, you'd have been okay.
Yeah.
Do you keep it or do you throw it back?
I'd autograph it then send it back.
Well, you'd be like, who screwed up this baseball? You can't use this. Bases remain loaded here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Still a 1-run ball game, and the pitch on the way. Grounded to shortstop, scoops and throws and drops it at first base, and the runner will head home, and the Trojans score 2, and they win it 10-9.
Wow.
How about that? Aiden Duncan down the line, showing his wide receiver speed right there, and able to beat the throw, and of course then the first baseman ends up dropping it. And it is a win here tonight for the Trojans. That will do it As again, Bishop Chatard picks up the win. They're now 4-1 on the season, 1-1 in conference play for Heritage Christian. They're now 0-2 in the conference, and they fall to 1-5 overall. That is going to do it. Don't forget, we'll be back, I believe, on Saturday, our next broadcast here. It's a noon start time on IndianaSRN. Make sure you join us then, and always check out IndianaSRN.org for all the upcoming games. For the entire crew, thanks for being with us. This has been High School Baseball on IndianaSRN.